the thing! He said the thing!
I always say the thing. What are you I always say the thing. Anyways, good evening, ladies! And mostly gentlemen, as most of us, we can't get bitches.
It's
Unfortunately,
true.
we cannot.
Wait a second, aren't you, like, engaged or something? You fuck.
Anyways.
What the hell? You fucking liar.
This is already off to a great start, everyone.
Yes, sir. First time on the podcast is not disappointing.
It's okay. Anyways.
Who are you people?
I am the master, the ordinator of all chaos, believer of not touching grass. And I am the host. I will always host the host with the stuff. And just don't touch grass. Just don't touch grass. That's cringe.
Yeah, if you touch grass, you're not allowed on this podcast.
Yep.
Whoa, new voice. Who could that be?
Well, it is the special guest Sicko here. I am Jake, everybody. Hello, if you have not met me before, that is who I am. Nice to meet all of you.
Oh, I am Alan. I just got done with my own stream. I just got done live reacting to the NASCAR Cup Series race, Truck Series race from Indianapolis Raceway Park. Ty Majeski grabs his first win of 2023, and he locks himself into the next round of the playoffs.
Nice.
Congratulations to him.
Very nice.
Good for him.
That just slightly scared the shit out of me. I'm not gonna lie.
But yeah,
Holy shit, we got a big guest tonight. Wow. He even has YouTuber in his name.
Subscribers strong on the YouTube.
Let's go!
Actual celebrity
Actually,
alert.
I need to. I need to just like me or
Don't
YouTube.
patronize me like that. I'm not a celebrity. I am not of celebrity status.
Just like
I
me.
just somehow have over 900 subscribers and over 2,000 Twitter followers or something like that. I don't know. I don't know how I got here, but I am here.
Well, anyways, I'm happy you're here. Just give me your YouTube so I can link it for my description for. Just send me it and then I'll update it at a later date.
Yep.
But yeah, we got two special guests. Got some Pats fans and Jets fans. We're going to be previewing on our continuous quest of previewing the NFL for this upcoming season. If you are a fan of any of the AFC West, South, North, let us know. We always loved having fans come onto the show, talk about their teams, because fans offer a very unique perspective into
always recruiting here.
Yeah. Recruiting to join the show. Before we get into...
I have Nick Man to thank for inviting me, so...
Yeah. Thanks, Nick.
I have Luke to thank for inviting me.
I know. The second I do the
I was like, hey, if you want to come on the show, you can. It's like, oh, thank God he said yes.
The chief sicko.
Indeed.
Who is that voice who brought you on?
Oh. Yeah, hello. I'm Nick Mandy. Usually I say something random, but genuinely I might as well just say, considering I'm with a YouTuber that has more subscribers than me, I'll say it. Most famous thing I've done is probably being a mod for the dumpster fire. Most famous thing I'm known for.
And also that one time you were on ESPN.
No, you have your ESPN plug. That was awesome.
Yeah, just never forget.
I was a mod on Joseph Lombard's Twitch before he got outed for being a complete piece of shit. Because he made me a mod.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Oh god, that was bad.
Aside from having 900 plus subscribers, over 2,000 Twitter followers somehow, some way, and having been on the dumpster fire for 5 minutes, having been rated by Tom Grossi, had 5 points vids on the same stream that I got rated on by Grossi. That's like my other claim to fame, I guess. Along with any, times I've been noticed on social media from people more popular than I and or followed. Yeah.
Nice.
So.
We are glad you're here. We're glad you are here. Alright.
I'm happy to be here.
I think it's also we got Nick and Aiden. They're here every week.
I introduced.
Aiden introduced. I'm Car Sausage. I'm a car and I'm a sausage. and I like talking about public transportation in West Michigan. Wow. Look at me go.
If we have the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile, then what the hell does that make you?
Well, I'm the shitty off-brand.
Uncreated.
Okay.
All right,
We have a lot to talk about today.
Yes, we do.
We have a lot to talk about. Let's get into it. We're gonna start off with the welcome mat week 2 preseason pick'ems, and then we're gonna jump into the AFC East, and then continue onwards to other things.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. My name is Aiden. I live in the Bay Area. I lift weights. I draw, and I am a fan of the 2023 World Series champion San Francisco Giants. Book it. I'm predicting it right now. 2023 World Series champs.
The 2022 NBA champion Golden State Warriors, might I add.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah, absolutely.
7
Once,
times.
as a Celtics fan, you had to remind me.
I was gonna say, I just realized we also have a Boston sports fan here. I probably shouldn't have said that. I don't feel bad whatsoever.
I have, okay, I have an
Celtics
honestly,
Leafs.
I have a
I'm not a Bruins
soft spot for the Boston Celtics. I have a soft spot for the Boston Celtics.
Oh.
Funny,
I don't.
and that's funny because he absolutely hates the Bruins.
Oh, I can't fucking stand
Dude,
them.
nobody likes the Bruins.
No,
That might be
as I just said, I am a Leafs fan, so.
Yes, let's go!
in here. Oh no!
We can suffer together.
This is beautiful.
All right. So let's get into the welcome mat today. This kind of like, also thanks for the new subscriber. I don't know where the alert came from, but thanks for.
Subscriber was me. You're welcome.
Thank you. Oh shit.
I also shared the stream in a community post.
Big
How many people
thanks.
see it? I have no
Thank
idea,
you.
Big thanks.
You're welcome.
Another day until I run another 1,000 kilometers farther away from you.
Oh yeah, it's see Mia, good old friend. Does stop motion animation for Ninjago, and he's been doing it for a while. He just
Hell
finished.
yeah.
He just finished his. I
Ninjago's a cool
believe.
thing, but it feels like a throwback.
Oh yeah.
Feels like a throwback from when it began. Back when
Mhm.
I was watching that stuff.
Yeah, so he does stop motion for stuff, and he's done a lot of work for the the good Ninjago community. He's a good guy, very good guy. He's doing his own. Anyway, so I'm getting off the topic here.
Welcome, Matt.
So, I've been debating on the timing to do this because we all know the Los Angeles Angels are very likely not making the playoffs. But the last thing that I want to look like, the last thing I want to look like is an absolute clown when they somehow rattle off an 80% win streak, win 80% of their games to clinch a spot, which that's the winning pace they have to go on. I checked on Wednesday. MLB had given them a 1.8% chance of making the playoffs.
I don't think it's happening.
No.
They would need Texas or Houston to fall the fuck off.
They
They
would
went
not
all
only
in.
need, like, the Blue Jays lost tonight. And if the Mariners win, they're going to be half a game back of Toronto.
Oh my god! Wow.
Ooh, oh yeah,
Yeah,
after selling
that's
at the
crazy.
deadline too.
Mariners,
Like,
okay,
Seattle went back
Mariners
to the
lightly
usual
sold. We
pitch
just
and
sold
they
Paul
might still make
Sewell.
the
That's it.
playoffs.
I have I personally am rooting for the Blue Jays to do well because one, I personally know a fan of the Blue Jays, and two, I happen to know somebody who is on the Toronto Blue Jays personally.
All right, flex your muscles, Jesus Christ.
Look, I can't help it that I took a physics class with Dalton Varsho.
Wow, that's impressive. I will
That's
give you
cool.
that.
I gotta
That is
say
cool.
this. I just want to say with this though, if I'm one of these teams, I am doing whatever it takes be the 6th seed.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know who you're gonna be playing if you're the 6th seed in the AL.
Twinkies,
Tees.
baby.
The Tees. It's not only that. The Tees have yet to win a playoff game.
Since
They haven't won the last
2004.
18 freaking times. Honestly, it would be funny as hell if the Tigers somehow jump the Tees and the Guardians.
I'd be surprised, but they kind of
so sicko.
that'd be funny, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
Unfortunately.
let's
It's
see.
the Comedy Central. Crazier shit has happened.
That's true.
True.
That's true. Okay, but as for the Angels, they bought at the deadline. They were the biggest buyers at the deadline. Big time. I
mean, in terms of quantity, yes. In terms
but
of
not quality.
I
As in
wouldn't really
quantity,
say so.
yeah, but quality, no.
It's not like they got bad pieces. You know,
Yeah.
Giolito, he struggled a little, but I feel like he can get better. Some of the other guys will be all right. It's just the Angels are not allowed to have good luck, and I think a lot of it is because of Artie Moreno. Honestly, you should have traded off Ohtani.
You should have. Now they're going to be stuck
You have to
looking
get
at.
past- like,
Oh, sorry.
if Texas was not this good, I'd give them more of hope. But Texas is good, even though they lost DeGrom. And Eovaldi's out right now, so.
I mean, the thing that perplexes me about the Angels is, yes, they had to aggressively buy at the deadline, but now you're in a position where you lose seven straight games. You lost to the Atlanta Braves, which is, a team that you would want to, win a series against, because, that's like, how do you stack up against a real playoff contender? You get your asses swept by the Mariners on your home turf.
Yep.
Oh, I loved it. That's just chef's kiss, too. I love in 4 games, not 3. 4 games.
Yep.
Ohtani
The thing for
does.
the Angels is if Trout or Ohtani gets hurt, you're done.
It's
You
not
might
even.
as well
I even
pass
still
up
think with Trout they don't make the playoffs.
No. And if Ohtani's the one that gets hurt, oh, you're mega fucked. Because he's the whole reason why you did all this.
Absolutely.
If you lose him, you're done.
It's so mind blowing that Ohtani does something that we haven't seen in decades. In actual decades. And they still can't win. It's absolutely insane. I'm looking forward to Ohtani to going to an actual team. I genuinely think the MLB will block the Angels re-signing Ohtani.
To
They-
quote Matt
Cubs.
to quote Matt Tomic, every time I see an Angels highlight, it's like, quote, Mike Trout hit 3 home runs and raised his average to .528, while Shohei Ohtani did something that hasn't been seen since Tungsten Armo Doyle of the 1921 Akron Groomsmen, as the Tigers defeated the Angels 8-3.
It's. I hope we see Ohtani on a competitive team. I think the MLB will genuinely block any attempts of the Angels to re-sign Ohtani. They don't want him in.
And if
the
Manfred
Angels.
wasn't a fucking cock, he would tell Artie Moreno to go fuck himself.
Well,
He
again,
ain't doing shit.
there needs to be a massive overhaul in MLB owners. There's too many MLB
There needs
owners
to be,
that
number
are content with just being below okay or below
because of
okay.
money.
It's not just Artie. John Fisher, the Angelos, Jerry Reinsdorf.
Here's the thing. Urinating Tree made a video about it was specifically about the Royals, but it was also about the small market teams a few years ago.
Yeah.
And a lot of that still rings true today. The owners of these small market teams, they won't revolt because they'll just get fucked over by the bigger markets. It's like you can't bite the hand that feeds, no matter how bad you want to.
I mean, not even that. I just feel like it's more of just the content to be okay. They're content with being okay.
There's so much you can do as a small market franchise. But then again, the Angels' problem for years has been trying to play to LA when you're not in LA.
Oh,
Yeah,
not only
the
that,
Los
well, not
Angeles
only
Angels of
that,
Anaheim.
they
Shit.
haven't. They've been the worst farm team to go to. They don't give a shit if you're in the minors right now.
And I remember,
Wow.
I'm pretty sure I remember not too long after they got Trout and stuff, they fired the player development
they-
coach who got him and
They
stuff.
ended up firing the guy that scouted Trout
Yeah.
eventually.
Mm-hmm.
And part of it is like
Jesus.
his ownership meddling because Moreno's been doing that. Some of these other guys have done it. You know, I mean, look at my Red Sox, for example. They're trying to do what the Rays are doing, and they brought in Shane Bloom for that exact reason. And there's only one reason why. It's because ownership doesn't want to pay anybody no more. Now, yes, they did pay Devers, but if they didn't pay Devers, there would have been riots in the streets.
Oh,
By
yeah.
the way,
Cool. He's your
thank-
Bogarts replacement, but he's been hurt.
Thanks
He's a
for
good
taking,
player, but he's healthy.
thanks for taking
It's
Luis
just-
Urias off of our hands.
Yeah, I know. And the craziest thing is that Boston still has a chance at a wild card spot right now. That's how fucking insane the AL is.
Well, the AL
Everybody-
East
it's
is.
like everybody in the East has a chance, but the Yankees are like, nah. Boston's kind of getting there.
I mean, the Yankees are probably going to finish 83 and like
Oh
still
my
above
God.
500.
If
They
the
haven't been
Yankees
below
finish around
4.
500. I'm gonna laugh my ass off.
If,
They
I
fucking
would.
deserve
Oh,
it.
same. They absolutely do deserve it. They haven't done nothing
Yeah.
to fix any of their problems. I mean, if
No, they
anything,
just
like
rely on Aaron Judge.
you can't. But they can't keep doing it without Judge.
they
The
can't.
team
Yankees,
fell
I wanna-
apart.
I want to say
And
this
Hal
with the
Steinbrenner's
Yankees.
not George, because George Tree has said it. George would have fired everybody 15 times over for this shit,
Oh, yeah,
and he would have traded a bunch of
absolutely.
people.
The thing with the
How the
Yankees,
fuck do you let Anthony Rizzo continue playing on a fucking concussion for months?
yeah, that pissed
Yeah.
me
How
the
do you
fuck
allow
off.
that as a fucking organization, as
the-
what is supposed to be one of the top fucking organizations in the league with one of the biggest fucking payrolls in the league? How the hell do you allow that?
I cannot say
That
just
is
how mad
bullshit.
I was.
That
How
is.
mad I was
that
after
is
I heard the Rizzo news. Like
ridiculous.
that
is
pissed me the
NFL
Yeah,
fuck
that's
level
off.
bullshit.
Yeah.
People need to fire
The
people
fact
for
they
that.
made him play for 2 months with a concussion and it was undiagnosed is like that is just organizational malpractice.
You know what that
Yeah.
reminds me
Yes,
of?
it is.
When,
Bush League stuff. That's something the fucking Jets should do, not the Yankees.
no,
Yeah.
not even the Jets. The Washington Commanders. That
Yeah.
whole
No, that's what
situation
the
with
Browns would do.
Well,
The
no, there was
fuck?
that thing with the Jets where it was like it was some Colecchio
Yeah.
Assembly situation, and
Yeah.
like he was undiagnosed
no,
for a
not
while. and,
Colecchio
like,
Assembly. Who's that?
No,
Trent
I
Williams.
don't know what you're thinking of. What I think of is Trent Williams having that cancerous bump on his head that the Commanders
Yeah.
wouldn't fucking.
Yeah.
do
yeah,
anything
but
about,
thank
just
fucking
find
God Dan Snyder's gone.
He's gone. The
Thank
bad.
Yeah,
God.
thank guy's gone.
Fuck Dan
And
Snyder.
thanks for Trent Williams, Washington. Thank you.
The bad man is gone.
God.
Yep. Now to get rid of Stan Kroenke, Dean
Cro-
Spanos,
Oh,
Jim
yeah.
Next is Dean Spanos. I think it's next is Dean Spanos.
Um,
Stan Kroenke. The Rams are too. The Rams have been.
The Browns.
The Rams have been too
Honestly, I will
successful.
say another owner who I think I can see at least probably just fucking off from the NFL is probably the Bidwills from the Cardinal.
Yeah, I mean the Bidwills have needed to sell for a long time.
Mhm.
It's just like with
And
some
of course,
teams, you can tell
you know-
unless they change ownership, they're never gonna win. Looking at
Yeah,
you,
my thing with the
Dallas.
Bidwill. Oh yeah.
No,
the thing with
here's the
Bidwills-
thing. The thing that needs to happen is Jerry just needs to sit back and be a fan and let the football men do their job.
Oh, yeah.
Because they can be a
Yeah.
very
But
good
Mike
team.
Even there too, so that's part of the problem.
Because like the
Yeah.
thing
Mike
that,
McCarthy.
because you know what the Commanders, right? You look into it with, it was Dan Snyder that made the picks. He forced them to pick Dwayne Haskins. He forced them to pick guys that they didn't want. He was never, he never scouted for anything. He just said, no. Screw what your opinion is. This is my team, and this is who are we going to take? That is organizational meddling that needs to go.
Exactly, but owners don't fucking care because
No.
they're getting paid shitloads of money. They don't give a fuck.
Well,
I just wanna say this
the
regarding
smart
Washington.
owners do.
Yeah,
The
well,
smart
like
owners
right
do.
Now with Eric Bieniemy, like you had Mahomes get asked about it, he's like, yeah, Bieniemy made me a better player. You know, you may not like his intensity, but he's gonna make you a better fucking player.
Mm-hmm.
And it's rubbing
Yeah, I'd say
allegedly it's
this.
rubbing people the wrong way in Washington.
What's up, Nick?
Washington,
I
I
will
want to
say
say
this
that-
though.
I-
One of the Washington players did say though that the coaching style is good for him because he knows it's just
different.
tough love and he's just trying to make him better. He knows at the end of the day it's not like he's trying to abuse them or like prove a point.
Yeah.
He's just
Exactly.
sometimes like some players just can't handle tough love though. I think that's just the reality of today's
In
NFL.
a way.
So
I
no.
do
Yeah.
say though, regarding Washington, after watching Tree's video, my respect for Joe Gibbs has definitely gone up after knowing the shit he probably had to deal with in the 2000s with Dan Snyder, and still getting them to
Well,
the
it's not
playoffs.
just that. You also have to remember, he's lost a couple of his family members over the years.
Yeah.
You know, on the racing
very
side of things.
tragically,
You know, on the
yeah.
racing side. You know, Coy Gibbs passed away last year after his son Ty won the championship in Xfinity.
Very
Then there's his Joe's other son that passed away a few years ago.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just Joe has just been so successful in NASCAR. Like he didn't even have to go back to football. He didn't have to. I mean, I think at the time it was kind of smart because it meant more money rolling into the NASCAR team. But
Yeah.
still,
It's just-
So
my respect for Joe definitely went up after seeing what he had to deal with.
as far as ownership, I think it's gonna change the soonest. I know this is probably insensitive, but I'm still surprised Virginia McCaskey is still going along as long as
Yeah,
she
isn't
has.
she like 100 years old?
Yeah.
I mean, she's got to be close.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, she's right up there. She's like 99 to
And I
100.
know Bears
probably.
fans have a complicated relationship with the McCaskies, to say the
Yeah,
least.
it's more like
Yep.
honestly, it's more the Suns than Virginia, but it's like I just really hope that once Virginia, has to go the way that life intends, I just hope the Suns do not try and just, hold the ownership role hostage, because they've really been the main villains in this whole storyline arc.
Yeah.
Oh, she is 100. She
Right on
turned
the dot.
100 back in January.
100, right on the
Ow.
dot.
Sorry we
100?
missed your birthday, Virginia McCaskey.
How does
Same
an
with
ego
the
piece of
Bears.
shit live that long?
We'll say with the Bears, though, at the very least... God damn it, what was his name? At the very least, there is a different CEO. At least it's not the fucking piece, that fucking corrupt motherfucker that
Ed
we had.
Phillips.
Yeah, you just gotta hope they don't meddle in football operations like they're fucking Jack Easterby.
Yeah, just come on, Kevin
Mhm.
Warren. You know what to do. Just be better than Phillips.
That should be that hard.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
All right,
I mean,
and
hey,
we have this the second half. Got the second half of the mat. How about them Edmonton Elks boys?
Oh, God.
Oh my
Win that.
fucking god!
Longest
Up
home winning streak.
22 to nothing.
Home losing streak.
Played
You-
excellent in the first half. They had excellent. They held at least Winnipeg to a field goal to end the half. They were clicking in the third quarter. And then long pass, beautiful 53-yard pass. Very next play, fumble.
What happened?
Oh my god, Edmonton's hopeless. Edmonton is absolutely hopeless. They will not win a game this year.
delete your
Just wanna say this.
franchise.
Just want to say this because I looked them up on Google and the first article I see is this: Edmonton Elks till I die, which given their play will be shortly.
Jesus.
I have a feeling some Canadians will blame this on the name change because remember,
Yeah,
the Elks
yeah.
changed from the Eskimos for a
Let's
lot of the
see,
same
the
reasons why
Edmonton
other teams have
Elks.
changed their names because of pressure and because of fucking.
Well, here's the thing.
because
Do you want to know
of
what the
whatever
greatest thing?
transitions and-
There was no pressure.
Congrats, Edmonton Elks. You are the new factory of sadness. In
The
CFL.
thing about with the Eskimos,
No,
there
they're the
was
Canadian-
no
they're the
pressure.
Canadian variant, whatever the fuck that would be.
All Eskimo meant was ugly fish face. That's all it meant.
Oh.
But
They're
like,
gonna have a. Are they gonna have a parade when they go 0-16?
I think it's like
Uh,
18 or something like that.
Yeah, some weird Canadian bullshit.
Mm-hmm. Because like the
118,
thing
here we
about
go.
it is a lot of people really can't stand the name change, and they've been blaming their poor performance on it ever since then. but they've just been bad since 2018 when they were still the Eskimos. They can't finish. This is so Cleveland Brown-esque. I feel like this is a tier below it, because at least I think even the Browns would still find a way to win. It's just, my God.
You know what's
What
funny?
happened after 2015? Shit.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny? Their head coach was an assistant coach on the Browns, by the way. I just want to let you know about that.
No wonder they're
Okay, now we know why. Now we
This
know why.
guy can't coach.
Freddie Kitchen Browns.
He was the
I don't
defensive
watch
assistant
Canadian
coach
football, so I
for the
can't ask
Freddie
much of an
Kitchen
opinion, but-
Browns. What the hell?
Oh my God.
Why? Why?
Like, at what point, when do they gotta look at it and realize, you know, what they're doing is just not going to work out? When is that, like, going to click in? Like,
Wait a second. This is the same motherfucker who was on the team as the head coach when they won the Grey Cup in 2015. So,
Wow.
wait.
Again, mind-boggling. Like, this guy, whenever things go right, and for Edmonton, it's always been establish the run, allow the quarterback to escape out of pocket and make plays. That's when things look really good. But when they completely shrink from that, they just look lost. They're offensively lost. They're their defense, like, at least hold something.
You know what he is? He's not only the head coach, but he's also the general manager.
Oh,
so he's
Christ.
basically Chip Kellying the team.
Well, I mean, the thing is, if you're a GM in the CFL, you're stuck with the table scraps. The CFL requires 50% of the roster to be Canadian. So, but still, at the end of the day, like, we know Taylor Cornelius is garbage, but like, Taylor Cornelius isn't the reason why the Elks are as bad as they are. It's the whole team. When one thing goes right, the whole team falls apart. I don't even know if you could find a moral victory in blowing a 22-point lead, which is something that Edmonton has been just searching for all year. No moral victories for this team.
It's that's probably the highlight of their season, blowing a 22-0 lead.
Mm-hmm.
It's the highlight right there. It's like you're so inept, you're so just shitty that, you know what, blowing a 22-0 lead makes it hurt less. That's impressive. Very impressive.
You know, like, well, at least we were 22-0 at one point.
At least it was
And then nothing
22-0,
happened
but
after.
still, like, you know, they go to the backup QB. You know, the QB did it. Their QB made, the fact that, you know, the Winnipeg's QB made such a horrible mistake, and the fact that he got injured because of it, and they still couldn't capitalize on it.
What really killed me about that is the fact that they had, there was an entire touchdown that Winnipeg didn't throw a pass for, and they got it because of three penalties. Yeah. Like, shit. What is wrong with you?
Inability, like, we saw how bad the Orlando Guardians were, but yet they still turned it around. They still had a strong finish. They finished well. They beat the DC Defenders. They handed them their only loss. They beat the Beer Snakes. And yet, Edmonton hasn't even improved since week 1. I'm just watching them just.
Lord, that they somehow got 4 wins last year. Like, what?
They're gonna find a way to win less than 4. Time's is ticking, Edmonton. Like, good lord.
Tick, tick, Edmonton.
Tick, tick. All right, and that's the welcome mat. We now have our Sickos pick'ems. You can do the Price is Right thing. The Price is Right. Price is Right. Where is the soundboard for that?
Oh, I got it.
The Sickos pick'ems. That's right. The annual time, because we pick preseason games because Why the fuck not? We just started our Sickos Pick'ems if you want to chip in. Let me know. We go from the NFL Hall of Fame game all the way to the Grey Cup in the 2024 season, including all the
Yummy!
XFL, USFL, and any ranked college games. I might throw a couple of them in there because week 0 I don't think has any.
Must be 18 or older to participate.
Hooray. All right. So, currently leading
responsibly.
at
Yes.
3-3. Spencer currently leads leads everybody. He's currently the top dog as of right now at 3
My
and
record.
3. Nick, your record is 0-2.
Oh shit.
Ooh, damn.
Osneil is 1-2. Aiden's 0-1, and I'm 2-0. I'm currently undefeated, but not in first.
For now.
So, we'll see. Oh, I'll probably get some of these wrong. Week 2, we're gonna have our week 2 pick'ems event. Jake and Alan, if you guys want to participate, there's still 8 week 1 preseason games to pick from. So I just need 5, and it could be any 5. Regular season of the NFL for the NFL. Regular season, one of us is going to pick 2 games. One of your picks has to be an upset. They have to be the underdog by 3.5 according to Fox Sports Bets, and then 2 is just any. It's very similar to how Fox used to do their pick'ems, like way back when, and now they just do pick 2 games.
Wait, so how does this work again? Like, how is it? Like, what picks am I making here?
Any 5 of the 8 remaining games, any one of them.
Oh, so I'm picking preseason games.
Preseason, yeah. You'll just be a Hall of Fame game behind if you want to
Hey,
participate.
Luke, quick question.
Quick answer.
How do you win 6 face-offs and not score a goal?
Blame
Sounds
the
like something the
computer.
Leafs would do.
Blame the computer.
That too.
I'm not
the
playing
technology's
this.
fault.
It's all the computer's fault.
EA's fault.
Yeah, blame EA. Blame EA.
Again, like I said, that feels like something the Leafs would do.
It fucking would. I hate you. It fucking would.
I would say something, but I'm a Sharks fan, so I can't really talk shit.
How's that Eric Carlson trade going for you?
Well, we got younger, we got
And
cap
low
space,
blow.
and you know what?
Hey, I had to
We're
ask a
rebuilding. We don't
question.
really have any expectations. We just wanna, ride it out, get a few picks, get younger, and hopefully, when they're good, hopefully we don't choke.
The entirety of that Carlson contract off your books, so you, I think, opened up a shitload of cap space, theoretically speaking.
Yep.
So you
Yeah.
did one good thing right there.
And hey, the Habs
Yeah.
got some stuff too.
Yeah, they did.
True.
That they did. Really good trade all
Meanwhile,
around.
The Penguins get older, and everybody's wondering what the hell Dubas is cooking.
In Dubas we trust. I trust Dubas to do the right thing because, good lord, the Maple Leafs couldn't do jack shit.
Hey,
Well,
at least we finally got out of the first.
He's about to
round
turn the
last
Peng
year,
wins into the
and
Peng
then Florida
loses.
happened.
Say with the
Look,
Penguins,
we
I do
finally
want
got
to
out of
say
the first round, and then Florida happened, which is ironic because Florida only got in because Pittsburgh choked. Funny how Dubas goes to the team that choked to allow the team that beat us in the second round. Like, it's just.
Yeah, that's funny. I do want to quickly comment on the Penguins. I want to comment because I will say, like, I get the point with Carlson. Like, I mean, there's been some of the moves with Dubas I do like. I mean, I can understand Carlson. Riley Smith, I understand them getting, which, yeah, still hurts as a Vegas fan, but at the same time, cup contenders gotta do what they gotta do. I will say the one
The
thing
other
with
thing also is Dubas got rid of some of the mistakes that the previous regime made, literally through the
Hextall and
Carlson
stuff.
trade.
I'll
So-
say though, if there's one thing that does baffle me about what Dubas did, I'm still very confused by giving Christian Jarry that 5-year deal. I'm still very baffled by that.
Because he's the best you have.
Eh,
He may not be
it's-
the best, but he's the best you have.
yeah.
And you weren't getting some of these other goaltenders that potentially could have hit market.
Hey, we got Gus Bus back. Let's go.
That
Hey,
too.
Indeed. All right, so Jake, if you're interested, there are 8 games that you can pick from.
But wait, some of these games have happened already.
No, Saturday, Sunday.
Oh,
there's
so
8.
there's 8
There's
games.
8
All right.
in total between Saturday and Sunday.
So I have to pick an upset.
Nope, any 5.
All right. Wait, so I'm just picking winners straight up.
Winner, straight up.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll take the Colts over the Bills in that preseason game. So I think Anthony Richardson's gonna just have a game against the Bills backups.
What's the Bills' backup QB now?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'll take the Bears over the Titans.
Yes.
we all
I
said
will-
Chicago.
I'll take the Ravens to continue their preseason undefeated streak, which is unprecedented.
Yeah.
I will take the 49ers over the Raiders.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
will take my New York Jets to beat the Panthers.
All right, and Alan, if you want to, would you like to participate in the Sickos Pick'ems League?
Honestly, no. Considering I'd probably just not keep up.
All right,
I've
fair
gotten out of playing
enough.
Fantasy stuff just for that reason. Like I've been asked to do NFL fantasy leagues this year, and I'm like, sorry, no, I just don't have the time, and I just.
Oh,
won't
hey,
remember.
Matt Barkley is still here. Wow.
All right, all good. All right,
That
now.
was me seeing Case Keenum playing for Houston last night. Like he's still here. The
Yeah.
fuck?
Case Keenum didn't do so bad.
Yeah. He
Oh,
did better
yeah,
than
and
he
this
did
is-
better
this
than Nate
is his first
Sudfeld.
stint with Houston.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit.
I mean, and here's the thing. Also, one quick note for Houston. I don't feel bad about CJ Stroud's first start. You're playing against Belichick. He's gonna do some bullshit and mixed coverages
Yeah.
just to throw him off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fine.
Don't feel bad.
The overreactions are pretty wild.
Mm-hmm. All right. Now week 2 pick'ems for the preseason.
Hey, Brewers win! Yeah!
All right, I'm gonna go. Okay, I am gonna start off. I'm gonna pick Philly. I'm gonna go for the Eagles. I'm gonna take Houston. I'm gonna take Kansas City. I'm gonna take the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm gonna go Baltimore. And then I'm gonna go Seattle. Those are gonna be the 3 that I go for. Aiden! Who's your 5?
All right, I'm gonna start off with a homer pick. I'm gonna pick the Niners over Broncos country.
Well, the Broncos currently have a 10-0 lead against the Cardinals. Ooh.
The Cardinals.
I take it they're under like under $10.
I have
for
heard it's been a
everything.
mixed bag for Russ, to say the least.
And I'm gonna pick the Chiefs over the Cardinals because the Cardinals are poverty incarnate.
Also, Patrick Mahomes will be starting. Will be playing. He's going to be playing Sunday versus whoever the hell they're playing. He's going to be he's confirmed to be starting for a full quarter.
Luke, you're gonna love this. Seahawks over the Cowboys, just so people can laugh at the Cowboys again.
Thanks.
And also, Bobo!
Incredible game by Bobo. Incredible game by Bobo.
Goes legend Jake Bobo.
Bar Sausage, you're gonna love this. I'm gonna pick the Vikings to win over the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah. Even though we lost last night, I think the Vikings rookies showed a lot of promise, especially guys like Ivan Pace and Jordan Addison.
Mm-hmm.
And just to keep up the meme, Ravens win over the Washington
Yes, the
Commanders.
Ravens meme will continue through the entire preseason for another year.
Hell yeah, brother.
All right,
Hell
Nick.
yeah.
All right. First game I'm doing, I'll take the Lions over the Jaguars. I got going with Dan plan here.
Mm-hmm.
I got Texans over the
Wait,
Dolphins.
no, not the damn plan. Oh no, that gives me PTSD. The tree silver. I'm not picking. I'm not picking the Lions because of that meme.
Oh God. Okay, yeah. Second game, Texans over the Dolphins. I got the Ravens over the Commanders because Ravens win low. That is what I'm going with the preseason.
That is a preseason Monday Night Football game.
Yep. And I got Seahawks over the Cowboys.
Hell yeah.
Fuck Dallas. Hell yeah.
Yeah. And let's see. I'll go. Screw it. I'll go 49ers.
Over Denver.
Yes.
All right, Spencer.
All right, so these games are going to be chosen at random. So, first up, we got the Panthers and the Giants. I'm going to go with the Panthers with this one. Next up, we got 6-7. I'm going to go Bears over Colts because, hey, the Bears.
Duh, Bears.
Come on. Alright, here we go. Dolphins, Texans. I'm actually gonna go with the Texans because as good as the Dolphins are, I don't see them as being, like, deep enough to win in the preseason, you know. The Dolphins strike me as a very top-heavy team. You know, a lot of high-end talent, but not too much depth to go behind that.
Here I come to save the day.
Here
Alright.
I come to save the day.
Alright, next up we got Buccaneers, Jets. I'm gonna give this one to the Buccaneers as they try to somehow figure out that quarterback room they got.
Yes,
you know.
I don't know if we're seeing Baker Mayfield or Kyle Trask in that game, but whatever it is, that'll be entertaining.
Yeah.
How many
I
games?
couldn't
How many
tell
games
you
do I
who
have
the
left
fuck
to
will be
pick?
One.
facing next
I got
week.
Panthers,
One
Bears,
more game.
Texans, Tampa Bay.
Alright. And the Lions, I'm going to pick them over the Jaguars because the Lions just won tonight, and I know my mom will be happy if I pick the Lions to win.
All right,
Love you, Mom!
Jake.
I already made my preseason. I did the week 2.
You
I
did week 1. I need week 2.
Oh, okay, week 2. I will picking 5 games. Okay. I will be taking Ravens over Commanders because low Ravens win preseason. I'll be taking the Packers over the Patriots because I gotta assume Jordan Love might be playing for a bit. So that gives the Packers an advantage in that game. I will take the Bears over the Colts. That could be fun if Anthony Richardson plays and Justin Fields plays for a bit. I will take Houston over Miami, and I will go with Detroit over Jacksonville.
I need one more.
And for my last one, I will be going with the Raiders over the Rams.
Ooh. Very, very, very
That's
nice.
a spicy one.
That's a
Good lord, the
Hey.
Rams are fucking terrible.
Well, not that the Rams are terrible. Rams don't play starters in the preseason.
Yeah,
their
their depth is
their
terrible.
starters aren't even good anyways, and yet their depth might be even worse.
So,
Alright,
looks
now-
like the Wild have already forced a game.
Shut up!
Oh, shut it.
I don't wanna. I don't like this.
All right.
All right, now to the meat potatoes. On to the NFC. Sorry, fuck. We already did all the NFC. AFC East.
The NFC East
There
again.
we go. We're doing it again.
Oh, fucking he!
We're gonna talk about the commies again. I can't wait.
Oh hell yeah, I love the Commanders. Okay. Well, the big difference from the NFC versus the AFC is that, good lord, if you're not in the South, you have to run the gauntlet.
Oh yes. Oh boy, yes.
Ooh.
That is very accurate, because especially looking at the Jets schedule, because
Mhm.
good lord, that first 6 games is a
You want to talk
gauntlet.
about the Jets schedule, buddy? Let me pull up the Patriots schedule.
We're both going through.
Say, let me talk to you.
Hell yeah! I love that
Yeah.
reference. Yeah, the megastar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, Fortnite!
yeah,
That's not what we're talking about.
Hell yeah.
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 Let,
Yeah!
the new face of Slim Jim. Respect him.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right.
it's
All right.
Bianca Belair.
Anyways, let's continue.
Alright, so first on the docket, we got the Buffalo Bills. How we do things here? Picking teams' total win production. Just kind of cringe. So we're going to do, this is their ceiling, this is their floor. So
I
that's how
love that. That's actually how I do it. That is my preferred
Yeah.
system.
picking
Thank you.
records is just complete cringe. So we're going to pick...
And Minnesota
Yeah, dude.
scores!
It's legitimately hard to predict how an NFL team will do from game to game, because so much can change with like injuries and
Oh,
like
yeah.
variants and all
Yeah.
that. It's just it's
Absolutely.
really impossible to predict.
Absolutely. So, I'm going to start off with the Buffalo Bills.
All right. Yeah, of course they are.
There's
They
a
are the
lot.
rank-
There's a lot more on the surface. There's a lot more than meets the eye for Buffalo.
It's because it's the alphabet, buddy.
Yeah, I
They are
know.
the reigning division champions, so they do deserve to go first, I suppose.
Well, no, we're going alphabetically.
oh,
Yeah. That too.
Yeah.
so we have 2 teams with an N in their name. Who will go? Who will go first in that?
In New England, because
England
comes
E
before Y.
beats York.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
bro.
man.
Don't you remember the alphabet in school?
Yeah, yes, I do.
E, F, G.
And coming from that lesson.
The alphabet. I went the alphabet.
Hang on.
All of the sports disaster.
Okay,
Uh.
so I know Buffalo's being, obviously they're going to be obviously really quiet on this situation, but there's really more than meets the eye on Stephon Diggs.
Oh boy, Diggs drama. I remember that arc. That was.
I know, but my whole thing with it's. I just look at the characteristics of Diggs, of Stephon Diggs, and every elimination that he's been through, he's looked at it in the worst way possible. He's looked at it like he wants to feel every drop of pain from that playoff elimination. He stayed on the field as Kansas City was celebrating twice. What do you think he was doing against Cincinnati? Staring at it again. There's gonna be a lot of
I
empathy.
want it to hurt, man.
He wants it to hurt, but I feel like that's really hurting the team, like the team vibe around him. I can understand that losing. Not even at least being in the Super Bowl.
Losing isn't fun.
Losing isn't fun, especially when you're as talented as.
I mean, the Bills have they have been considered like contenders for the past few years. So for them to come up short, obviously, players will be disappointed.
Yeah, I need to close my window.
Yeah.
It's really braining in.
Because also you got that on top. There's gonna be if they
like
start
a
off
thunder.
if
What
they
the spray?
Spencer.
Jumping Jehoshaphat.
Oh hell no!
Okay, so as I was saying, I really feel like they're very vulnerable, and if they lose early on, I could see that locker room just falling apart.
Oh yeah.
I see that locker room just completely deteriorating. I see it completely just falling apart. Sean McDermott, and I don't know why this relationship between Diggs and Allen just hasn't been repaired yet. Their division, it's only getting harder. It's not getting easier. It's getting a lot harder to try and continuously compete in that division. Nobody's fading away anytime soon. Everybody is only getting stronger. What?
Bless you, the Patriots.
Yeah, I mean, Patriots Patriots are better than what they were last year. No,
Yeah, we'll get to that.
we'll get to that.
We'll get to that.
But
Because I have things to say. So we'll get to that.
so, aside from all of the drama, the Bills are still a really good team. I feel like the one thing that holds them back is the lack of a running game. I think their running game is...
They didn't go for Dalvin Cook.
Well, analytics and honestly having troubles with legal issues doesn't help your case either.
We'll get to Dalvin Cook later when talking about the
Buffalo
Jets.
knows that they can rely on Josh Allen to run.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't needed a really good running back there. But I mean, they need one, but they haven't at the same time. It's weird.
Well, yeah, but my
I
thing
feel
is that I feel like you
kind
would
of
want to have a
overblown,
good
but
running
it's fine.
game. You would want to
As
have
long
a
as
good
your
running
running
game
is
so
fine.
you can take the pressure off of Josh Allen so he takes less
Well,
hits.
yeah, but
So we
Absolutely.
can focus more on being a quarterback, not a running back.
Absolutely. Well, Josh Allen is a fantastic passer. It makes him very one-dimensional. If they can't get the run off and the passing game isn't going, they're not going to be able to do anything.
Yes.
They defensively you can only do so much defensively for them. And, Sean McDermott's great, but I think since Brian Daboll went to the Giants, they've been very predictable on offense. And times are running out.
Yeah, their offense has been Josh Allen go boom.
Mm-hmm. And Josh Allen, and again, they don't really have I think a receiver that at times can look fantastic, but at other times he kind of fades away.
The thing I see
when Diggs isn't on, who is their secondary option? Who are they looking for? Gabe
outside of
Davis?
tight end, yeah, you don't
Or
really
like
have
Dawson
either.
Knox.
Mm-hmm.
Gabe Davis was supposed to be a breakout player last year, and he did not do that, to say the least.
Gabe Davis, he might be one of the most overrated players in the NFL right now.
Mm-hmm.
The
Absolutely.
thing with Gabe Davis is he's fine to have, but he should not be their number 2 wide receiver. Like, that is a problem if he's their number 2 wide receiver.
He will not be the number 2 receiving option because you have the tight ends, but he is still your number 2 receiver. If Stephon Diggs goes down, he is your number 1 receiver. That is not a place you want to be in if you're competing for a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You know who that kind of reminded me of? As far as having, it's a good thing to have, but you shouldn't be relying on it. I don't remember who it was, but somebody on the Canadiens, in 2017, they're like a good thing, but you shouldn't have to rely on them.
Ray Price.
Yeah, probably Carey Price.
100%.
All
Yeah,
right.
100%. Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be. I think they still should have a good year. Ceiling 12, floor 6. It's they have a tough schedule, and if they don't win early, they're gonna fall apart.
I agree with you, but I'm less interested in seeing how their regular season goes, because we all know the regular season doesn't really matter for them. It's all about the postseason. Can you perform in January, which Josh Allen has kind of been struggling to do.
Listen, he just simply hasn't.
Yeah, heck, he had issues performing against Kirk Cousins. Although that was one of the best games of all time, but I digress.
That was a really good game. That was a really good game.
Okay, I feel like I'd want to go next
Yep.
here because regarding postseason, I think there is something to say here because my thing with the Bills is, going into last season, the Bills were my pick to win the Super Bowl if I remember correctly.
They were
Like,
my pick too.
I was
Yeah.
very confident in going out there and saying, yeah, I think the Bills, this feels like their year. It was similar to how I felt like
And
with
early
the,
on, it looked like it was their year. They looked like they were firing on
Yeah.
all cylinders.
They
And
But it's
couldn't
very
beat.
similar. It's very similar to how I felt about the Colorado Avalanche in 2022. It's like it just felt like their year, and it turned out to be exactly their
Now-
year. And it's like
now
that's
we
what I
do
felt
have-
with the Bills.
We do have to mention that mid-season Josh Allen hurt his elbow.
And it's
Yeah,
true.
that is true. The arm strength wasn't there.
That's true.
Definitely, he still played good, but he definitely was not the same Josh Allen after that. And obviously,
his,
when he's not the same Josh Allen, you're probably not winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But still,
And obviously,
he
you
still
had
was
shit.
not good against the Bengals, and he still probably needs to redeem
Yeah.
himself this year.
Absolutely. I mean, obviously, you still had. Obviously, thank God that. I just want to say right now, thank God that Damar Hamlin is okay. Thank God he's going to be able to
Yeah, he's
hopefully
supposed to
play
play their
again.
preseason game.
Thank
Yeah,
God.
tomorrow.
Yep, he'll be
Yeah,
he'll
but
be on the field. He'll be on the field.
Good
I
for
do
him.
want to say though, yes, great for him. Really happy to see. But I do want to note this though regarding the Bills. Losing Von Miller was also a massive loss for them, and that was
Yes.
and that is my concern because as much as great as Von Miller is, he's an incredible talent, truly one of the best defensive players of this generation. Recent years, it has been noted that injuries have not exactly been kind to him, and I really do hope that
Wait.
this doesn't, end up becoming
Can I bring up something now too that has to do with the
Sure.
Von Miller situation?
Sure.
When you think about it with the Bills, they don't really have like a ton of like blue chip young players. Like Von Miller's Von Miller's their blue chip player on defense, and he is in his mid-30s and is an injury risk. I am not sure if that is the path you want to go down, because if he does get injured again for a length period of time, you're right back to where you were last year.
Yeah, and
You know
the
what
thing with oh wait, you can go on, Spencer. I want to.
You know what this Bills team reminds me a lot of? The 2001 Washington Commanders, where they had all these huge free agency splashes that they did okay, but they haven't made the big splashes like people analysts have really wanted them to.
I know a team in this division who's getting those comparisons, but we'll get to them later. I have some stuff to say about that anyways.
Yeah, regarding the Bills, it's just the way I look at it, and I gotta say this, because if the Bills disappoint again, I do want to say I get the feeling that Brandon Beane might be on the hot seat real soon, in my opinion. I just want to say that, because as good as he has done with
It
building
would be
this
McDermott
roster...
first.
McDermott too, yes.
And
John
Diggs
McDermott too.
Diggs might request another trade.
It's just the fact that, I mean, we mentioned the receiver situation. It's like, having Gabe Davis is fine, but he should not be your number 2 receiver on a team that's trying to win the Super Bowl. And while I definitely agree, Josh Allen knows how to make the run game work. He can run as much as he so pleases. At the same time, you really do wish, after all these years, the Bills would actually find a solution to their running back situation, which they still haven't managed to find a solution. And I will say, I will admit that in terms of tight ends, they might have, in terms of tight ends, their tight end duo with Dawson Knox and Dalton Kincaid looks really good. I will say that. That does look really good. I do wonder how they're going to handle those two this season. But, it's going to be really interesting with the Bills here because Bills definitely this season have way more questions that need to be answered, because I want people to consider this. Heading into this season, they have lost in the divisional round back-to-back years. That is, for a team that's trying to win a Super Bowl, that's not what you want to have. That's not what you want to be entering towards in terms of just being known as a team that's great but can't get past the second round. And I will say, both years, yes, injuries, especially on the defensive side, have hurt them. But at the same time, the way I see this Bills team And with the way the AFC has only gotten stronger after an already very, very strong AFC in recent years, I just have to think I think it is very possible we see this Bills team, if they can't pull it all together, they're going out in the second round again. And I'm just going to say it. If they go out in the second round for a third straight season, you're seeing a big retool with this team come 2024. I'm just saying that. You're going to be seeing a retooling of this entire team. And I will say, as much as I think Sean McDermott absolutely deserves to be in the NFL, I think he's a great coach, but considering we're at the point where I'm pretty sure this is like year 7.
This is like his sixth year as head coach of that team.
Seventh season. It's his 7th season with the duo of McDermott and Bean. You gotta wonder if the expiration date is really starting to reach that breaking point. Because I do just wonder, because the Bills for the past couple of years have had Super Bowl expectations, and they just haven't managed to deliver. And I just feel like until they manage to do that, I'm not sold on this Bills team. I think they'll be great. I think they'll still be very good at the minimum, but I don't know. I'm not sold on them to win the Super Bowl. I can see shit going wrong for them in the playoffs if they don't get their shit together. And also, I will gotta say, the coordinator situation will be very interesting because Ken Dorsey has a lot of critics he has to prove, and Sean McDermott's basically taking over the defensive coordinator role. So that's going to be very interesting to see how all that plays out. But in terms of how this Bills team will do, I think their ceiling is 13 wins, and I think their floor, even though I have said their flaws, I will say I still think their floor is probably around 8 wins.
All right. Can I go with their ceiling and floor?
Sure.
Yeah.
I think the Bills' ceiling is 13 wins, and their floor is probably like 10 wins. Still think this is a very good football team at the end of the day.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna say my case on the Bills. You guys all said they're a good team, and what's his face? McDermott and Bean they've been here for a while, and if shit doesn't go right, they might have to retool stuff, or their asses might be in the hot seat. I'm gonna say this is still a very good. It's still a very good Bills team. But I'm not concerned about the regular season for them anymore. We know they're probably gonna have double-digit wins, and unless things go haywire, they're most likely gonna have a winning record. What I want to see though from the Bills, make a deep playoff run, make a really deep one, and actually win the damn thing. And all the boy I love losing Super Bowls memes. That being said, ceiling is 14 wins, floor is 10 wins. I'll be nice.
I just realized what this Bills regime reminds me so much of. The Mike Zimmer Vikings.
A little bit.
Oh, the irony.
Hard-ass defensive coach, can't really perform in the playoffs. Massive question marks with their quarterback. Stephon Diggs is there.
Stephon Diggs. I will say, I mean, probably it's better than the Zimmer experience, but still, there are similarities between the two in terms
because
of
Josh Allen is an elite quarterback and Kirk Cousins is not.
Yeah.
To say the least.
Yeah. That's the big difference. Kirk Cousins is average incarnate.
I mean, he's cool and all, but he's not.
I think he's overhated, but he's not Josh Allen.
He's like Cousins is he's a fine quarterback. He'll get the job done when he needs to get it, but he's not going to be an elite quarterback. That's how I see it.
Yes. All right.
Right. Who's next?
I need Spencer and I need Alan.
So my floor for them is 8 wins, and my ceiling for them is 13. Did they really force a game 7?
Shut up!
You are coping and thieving.
You cannot believe what you are seeing.
seeing. Yes,
You
you're
are
coping,
coping
Going and teasing.
thieving.
The truth it is scalding, and now you are molding and coping. Coping so hard. Anyway,
Coping and seething.
Butter chicken, butter chicken.
God.
Yeah. Okay, what's your floor and ceiling for the Bills of Buffalo?
Me?
Yeah, floor and ceiling.
Ceiling 13, floor 9 or 10. Say 10 probably.
Same.
All right, next in the alphabets, we have the Miami. Tua's one concussion away, and you are fucked, Fins.
Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins.
That's the best stuff.
Miami Dolphins are the best team in the league.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best stuff.
Miami
Dolphin boys I can do.
Dolphins, the greatest football.
Here's the thing.
All right.
The
No,
Dolphins
Dolphins
have
the
the best receiving core in football.
But is it
Tyreek
enough?
Hill go fast, Jalen Waddle go fast, and anybody else they have feels like compliments to these two. These two guys are incredibly talented at the NFL level.
Yep.
Incredibly talented NFL players. I'm not really worried about the receiving core. I still think even with the backup quarterback, if they can just develop some chemistry between QB number 2, I think they'll still be fine. But the $1 million question: Tua Tagovailoa, one concussion. He might. No matter what, if he gets hit, we're all gonna overreact. Period. That's
that's good for business, overreacting.
Yep.
It
We're
is
gonna
very good for
overreact
business.
to him taking a hit.
Every
By
time
the
he
way, the
gets hit and
Vikings.
it looks bad. Oh no, Tua's concussed.
By the way, the Vikings lost last night, so obviously fire everyone.
Yep, exactly. But the thing that gives me at least a little bit of encouragement is the fact that Tua has done training to learn how to take hits better. And there was a thing that he broke in early into the season that didn't allow him to cushion hits in his body. So it's just literally constantly his head was just getting smashed into the ground constantly. So at least that is a little bit of some understanding right there. Now, with that being said, is this all going to, come together? Or is this going to be another one of those things where Tua gets hit, he gets concussed, and then he's done? Because concussions, there's never a thing as like a silver concussion. Every concussion is different. Canucks...
Thing is he considered retiring after last year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, if he takes another hit and he takes another concussion, he's done. I think he's done.
He could be done. I mean, there's
200.
I'm just gonna say $250 million.
He is one concussion away from probably never playing again, which is
Hey, speaking
sad.
of injuries, what do you suppose the over/under is on them mentioning DeMar Hamlin on the first Bills game?
We already talked about the Bills.
We'll joke about it afterwards. We're talking. It's the Dolphins.
Talking about the
Oh,
Miami Dolphins.
That's
My bad.
we did a lot of ADD off.
Speaking of injury,
The ADD
Hold
off
on.
tracking can resume after we're done with the AFC East. Then we can
Yes.
go all ADD go ADD crazy after when we're done talking about our quick baseball updates, and then we'll just go crazy with everything.
Speaking of injuries for the Dolphins, They did have a pretty significant one recently. They have
Oh,
lost
yeah.
their star cornerback Jalen Ramsey.
No. They're
for-
burnt toast cornerback Jalen Ramsey.
I'm gonna call him their star quarterback to be nice. Their star cornerback Jalen Ramsey to at least like December.
Yeah, torn meniscus. That's
Not ideal to say the least.
he got did it because he got burnt by Tyreek.
But I do think they are better equipped to handle it this time because they have Vic Fangio running the show on their defense now. And we all know when Vic Fangio's not a head coach, he is a fantastic defensive mind when he can just focus on the defense.
I can confirm. I can confirm.
Amen.
I think Dolphins will be fine. I'm gonna go 12-6. Same thing with the Bills. Super original, Luke. I know.
Oh my God, Luke! You're talking to yourself. No, he isn't. You jag-off. You're the jag-off, buddy. Oh yeah. Fuck you.
But anyways,
Get a room.
12-6. I still feel most of my AFC. You're either contender, pretender. At the end of the day, there's 10 very, very good teams in the AFC and only 7 playoff spots. Dolphins could be a team that's 11-6 and looking outside in.
Yep.
Debatable.
It's at the end of the day, you're gonna wish you were in the South, because at least in the South you stand more of a chance than not a chance. So there's that. I like the Dolphins. I like Mike McDaniels as a coach, but at the end of the day, it's if Tua again gets concussed, he's done. We'll see what happens. Dolphins. Literally, it would be not too far-fetched to say that the entire Dolphins' future literally banks on this season and the direction that the team is going to go in. Because if they miss the playoffs, okay, they could go 10-7 and still miss the playoffs. That owner's going to completely blow it up, or just clear office when the answer is load up again. You're in the toughest conference in all of football, and probably the second toughest division in football. You gotta only add. I wish the Dolphins best of luck this year. This year's gonna be a real grind fest for them. But we'll see. Anyways, what do you guys think? What's their floor and ceilings, or if you want to add anything?
All right, I'll go now. All right, for the Dolphins. I think there is honestly a very wide range of outcomes for this team. There is the world where Tua stays healthy, the offense is on firing on all cylinders, the defense is better under Vic Fangio, and they win like 13 or 12 games. There's also a world. Tua gets injured again, unfortunately. They're playing Mike White at quarterback or Skylar Thompson for majority of the season.
Mike White's back up.
And the defense has growing pains under Vic Fangio, and they actually, in this AFC, which you cannot afford to have growing pains or get off to a slow start, they win like 7 games this year. So I'm going to say their ceiling is like 12 wins and their floor is 7.
Very good. Let's go
right.
next.
I'll go next. Dolphins. I really do like in terms of offense, I like what they got around Tua and stuff. I mean, I know they did invest in the O-line this year, which is at least I'm pretty sure they did in free agency and stuff and all that stuff. So that's good. Obviously the defense, as a Bears fan, I obviously can confirm how great Vic Fangio is as a defensive coordinator, and I feel like even if it's not like in terms of the most talented defense, I will say though it will be great for them to have Bradley Chubb now get a full off season with them and all that. That will be huge for them, I think. But I feel like similar to how I felt about like Brian Flores in the Vikings defense. Like even if it's not like definitely not the most in terms of pure talent, like not the most talented defense, the impact will definitely be made in terms of improvement and strides taken because you have a better defensive coordinator, and in this case the Dolphins with Vic Fangio will definitely take strides with in terms of that defense, which I know for as much as the injury talk, as much as the injury gets blamed, I gotta say, the Dolphins' defense last season was also a pretty big problem for them, in my opinion. Like, that definitely kind of held them back in a certain amount of games and all that. But regarding the $1 million question with this Dolphins team, it's definitely Tua. And I know, like, Luke said this about Justin Fields and others have said this about Jordan Love. I'm going to be real when I say this. I think Tua, I'm not even going to pronounce the last name because I'll probably butcher it. Tua probably has biggest hot seat when it comes to a quarterback in the NFL right now. I feel like that's up for debate, but I just feel like Tua's hot seat right now is really, it's much more than others, mainly because not just with the injury talk, but also the fact that every offseason I hear rumors he's going to get replaced. Whether it be frickin' Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Deshaun Cosby. One of those three always gets rumored with Tua.
Deshaun Cosby.
Yeah, and yet every time it doesn't happen. So this is definitely
That's
because
just
this is
fans just don't like. That's just some people don't like Tua and the way he plays. I
Yeah.
don't fucking know.
It's just-
I
don't
feel
know if he's
it's kind of the owner also kind of fueling these rumors too,
Yeah,
because their
definitely.
owner is a total boob.
Their owner has been. I think it's pretty publicly documented. He was like meddling with Deshaun
Oh,
Watson
yeah.
and Tom Brady, which I gotta imagine if you're Tua seeing
Oh,
this
he
stuff,
was battling with
I
Brady
can't
and
make-
Sean Payton.
that can't make you very happy if you're Tua, because your owner is
Yeah.
actively trying to replace you while you're trying to play football. And
Yeah,
it was pretty clear Brian Flores was not the biggest fan of Tua either.
yeah,
Oh, I mean, yeah, but Flores had the other shit going on, so.
yeah.
For
Same
that, dude.
time.
Yeah, let's just say
Even Tua-
let's just say the locker room environment in Miami with Flores was not ideal.
Yeah, I'll say this with Tua though. It's like I really do, because I really do hope he proves the critics wrong. I want to see him succeed. It's just this is definitely
These are fair questions though that need to be asked.
yes, this is definitely a
We
make or
can't
break
not
year for
we can't
him.
not talk about it.
Yeah,
We
it's
can't not
just,
talk
this
about
is,
we can't talk about the Dolphins and not talk about the Tua problem or
I,
question.
It's just this
It's
is
not a-
absolutely
I
a
have
make or
bad
break
news
year for
about
Tua.
the. I have a bad news for Tua.
What?
That offensive line looks awful.
Yeah, I
mean,
mean,
When you
Tua-
have
if
when you
Teron
have
Mar- if
Isaiah
Teron-
Wynn as one of your tackle options,
But like he's a
I don't
backup
think it-
though.
I don't
they
think
do
it's
have
like
Teron
I
Armstead.
don't think
though.
it's
They at
this
least
great.
have him.
I don't think it's this great offensive line, but I don't really see it holding them back if it's healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just they're gonna have to have. I would say you probably have to have Teron Armstead do a lot of work though. That's
Yeah,
what
you
I'll
just,
say.
you just gotta, as long as it's not a turnstile, you should be fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dolphins just Tua didn't approve it year, and I gotta say the Dolphins, for how I see it, their goal, I feel like it's not just to make the playoffs, but also win a damn playoff game. Because it should be noted, the Dolphins have the second longest playoff losing streak in the NFL right now, only behind the Detroit Lions. Like, they-
and the clock is ticking.
JFK saw the last Lions playoff win.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. That was in
Aw.
1991.
All right.
Okay, but yeah, I'll just do the fucking.
Me
I'll
when
do
I
the-
spread misinformation on purpose.
Yeah, I'll just do the floor and ceiling. Ceiling for the Dolphins, I'll go 13. 13 wins for the ceiling. Floor, I'll go 7.
God damn.
All right, so my pick on the Dolphins is, I think they got potential to do great things, but there might be some things that they're holding them back. I mean, on one hand, I do think a Vic Fangio led defense is gonna be great. I should know. He used to be our defensive coordinator a while back.
Whoever has the TV in the
And-
back, can you please turn it down?
That's
Oh yeah,
four.
so oh yeah. Anyways, one more thing. Again, the Tua situation. The Tua situation is kind of like, is he really the guy? I say he is, but if he gets injured again, bam, that might be the end of his career. That's not good. But at the same time, These Dolphins team's got the pieces. Great receiver core, decent running back core, and I gotta say this: if this team does well, it's gonna go far. But if it falters in the early weeks, particularly with the Jalen Ramsey injury, it'll be a long season for them. Ceiling, I'm gonna go bold here. Ceiling is 14 wins. And now for the
Yeah,
floor.
I would say they definitely have boomer bust potential. The Dolphins do.
Yeah.
However, the floor, I'm gonna be pretty harsh on the floor. 5 wins.
You won't even. I had 7. I thought that was low. You went 5. God damn.
God
think
damn!
You're saying it could be like Broncos level, like bad if
It
some-
could.
Yeah, it could either be Niner level good or Bronco level bad, but who knows? It all depends on several variables.
I trust Mike McDaniel enough where I don't think
offensive.
it'll be that bad.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I can kind of see it. The AFC, the gauntlet of the North. It's It's just the gauntlet of the North is just something special, something. Sorry, the gauntlet of the East. Belichick. You still have Belichick as Belichick, but twice a year is just. I get cold feet.
Yeah, fading Belichick is something I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy.
Yeah, tell me about it.
I'm about to make a hockey reference here,
Okay.
but like,
Go ahead. We love hockey in here.
Why do you think Chaos League exists?
the Miami Dolphins for me are like the Calgary Flames of the
Ooh!
NFL.
Ooh!
Where like they have
Oh,
these
that's perfect. That's perfect.
That's
But they
a
have
great
these, like,
analogy.
That's good.
huge expectation and all this talent that they traded for out of desperation, and you'd think that they'd go far, but like then all of a sudden they thought them out, and then they get eliminated like the last possible time, or they sneak in to get blown out by somebody actually worthy of being in the playoffs. So that's why I'm going to be a bit harsher on the Dolphins and say their ceiling is 10 wins and sneaking into a playoffs wildcard spot, and their floor is about 6 wins. And if I may throw in a bit of a bonus prediction, they will trade away their first rounder next year for Kirk Cousins.
But Kirk Cousins is a free agent.
Oh, right. Never mind. They will trade their first rounder for somebody, though.
Fair enough. All right, Alan. Who's your floor and ceiling?
Sorry, eating bread.
Brett.
What is
Ceiling, 12 wins. Floor, 8.
All right, and now you have the floor. It's the New England Patriots. They're up next.
Oh boy.
Alrighty. Let me finish this bread.
Yeah. He's part of the LGTB. That's the let's get this bread.
Yeah, and the Bulls are a minute and 50 away from winning the Stanley Cup. Ooh.
Let's go. Let's freaking go.
Joe,
Oh my God! They're getting the trophy ready. They're getting it ready.
I'm not even. It's okay.
As a Patriots fan, once Brady left, I've had to be as realistic as possible, and that's what I've been doing.
Yes,
When
of course.
Max rookie year, I did not think we would make the playoffs. We did, only to get our shit stomped by the Bills. and have a dildo thrown at us for whatever fucking reason.
I mean, if you're in Buffalo, you're always gonna
I
have dildos
figured
thrown at you.
last year I felt like we'd be right on the cusp of the wild card, and we were, but we missed. And that Matt got hurt. Then there was the Zappy thing. Then there was frustrations and not having a proper offensive coordinator. And what I don't understand, oh well, no, I understand it to a point, is pundits, media members, fans trying to throw Mac under the bus saying it's a prove-it-year dude. I think our problem is that we're so used to success, we want to get back there, and people are trying to say, oh, if Mac doesn't play well this year, and you need to find somebody else, who are you going to get? Because this is not the same Patriot. The Patriots are not in a situation like the Jets, where the Jets had a lot of young talent on the roster. On the roster.
Hang on, save some of that for when I get to go.
I know. And then they
It's
added
okay,
veteran
it's okay. I get what
QB
you mean.
to that mix, and they look better. New England is not in that spot. Where they are right now is they are mid. And I think people need to accept the fact that the Patriots are mid, and they're going to be mid for quite a while. I don't think Mac should lose his job after this year. I think if he plays like absolute dog shit, then fine. But if he plays well and he keeps us around 500, I don't see why because again, look at the schedule. We literally open the season against the defending NFC champions. And then we have the Dolphins. And then we have the Jets. And then we have the Cowboys. And then the Saints. And then the Raiders. 6 weeks, at minimum, we could be 2-4 with those wins coming against the Saints and Raiders. I'm dead serious when I say that. Maybe 3-3 if we beat either the Jets or the Cowboys. Then we have Buffalo. Then we play Miami again, so we don't have to play them at the end of the regular season, thank God. Then we have the Commies and the Colts. So, through 10 weeks before our Week 11 bye, I think we could have minimum of like 4 to 6 wins by this point. Probably closer to again, winnings over the Colts, Commies, Raiders, and Saints. So we need 4 and 6 going into the bye if that happens. But then, you come out of the bye week. Giants, Chargers, Steelers, Chiefs, Broncos, Bills, Jets. That is a gauntlet. Mm-hmm. Maybe you beat the Giants. Maybe you beat the Chargers if Brandon Staley's again.
Hey, maybe you beat the Jets because you're legally required to beat the Jets at least once every year with Bill Belichick. And you're at home.
If the regular season, if we lose the first matchup on the road, the regular season finale at home, if the Jets are playing for a playoff spot, I don't see us winning. Okay. I think honestly, if we manage to go 4 and 6 in the first half of the season, which is what I think we'll do, I think we only get maybe 1 or 2 wins after. Now, there's a chance that you could beat some of these other teams, but I just don't know. And it's telling because people are saying, "Oh, just DeAndre Hopkins coming here would have made us better." To a point, yes, but Mac needs a better offensive line and better protection if he's gonna be able to throw to a guy like Hopkins. Would I like to see Zeke Elliott or Dalvin Cook come here? Absolutely. More help. Having somebody alongside Ramondre Stevenson in that backfield will be great. But how much of it is actually going to help? On top of which, the Patriots even under the Brady era, have also been built upon a very strong defense. We do not have that anymore. At least not as good of a defense as we used to have.
Hey, I do have some good news though on stuff you don't have. Um, you cur- you don't have you don't have to deal with the two-headed snake of Matt Patricia and Joe Judge.
Yes, but we have the butt chin as Bill O'Brien. Now, if Bill O'Brien could unlock Mac Jones, that would be nice. Because that could help save Mac's job. Allegedly. We're probably going to finish fourth. Third, if the Jets completely fuck it up. A fourth nonetheless. We're not going to be shit, but we're not going to be a playoff team either. I would say ceiling, probably 9 wins, maybe 10, but that's kind of stretching it a little bit. The floor is like 4 or 5. So we're either going to be a fringe of the wild card, or we're going to be a team picking in the top 10 of the draft. And probably back end of the top 10 at that. It's one or the other. And honestly, if it's the latter, I won't be mad. Because we need to get more high-end talent back on this roster, and the only way we're going to be able to do that is through the draft, which is something we have not had to do for quite a while. But I don't want to see Mac lose his job. As long as he plays well enough, I don't want to see him lose his job, because it's not his fault. He needs more weapons around him. And yes, we have gotten guys on offense. But I just don't know how well the defense is going to do. Mac has to stay healthy. It's going to be interesting. And then I think by the end of the season, there could be questions. The questions of, should Bill Belichick still be here, are going to get louder. Retirement could be on the way for him. So, yeah.
Like, is he up to snuff as a general manager? Because
It's either or. It's both as a GM and as a... Because I feel like Belichick the GM and Belichick the head coach are two completely different people. Belichick the GM, if you have an actual GM there, I think the Hopkins deal could get done. We probably could have Zeke or Cook already. And probably some other additions over the years. But Belichick the GM is different. He's cutthroat. He's ruthless. He'll do whatever the hell. I mean... Yeah.
He'll look at his he'll look at his draft sheet and he'll crumple it up and he'll be like, "Give me Cole Strange," and he said, "But sir, it's not on anybody's draft list. What are you doing?" "I said, give me Cole Strange."
I mean, yeah, that's the Patriots for you. They go outside the box.
One thing that this is kind of the biggest thing that I want to add up just purely about the New England Patriots. I really feel that Belichick just needs to be the coach and they need to have somebody GM this team. Because Belichick, I mean, the guy's a legend. But he's let top talent walk away. And that needs to... You're at a point now where you're in the AFC where it's not as weak as it once was. Everybody will devour you whole if you don't have, like, a very competent team. Coaching's not going to get this team anywhere. They need to have a GM at the helm. They need to sign guys. Belichick needs to be in the guy's ear saying, we got to get this. And obviously I think it will happen. But the thing that just consistently frustrates me is Bill Belichick without Brady. We're starting to see kind of who did the who around here. And this team I still think is insanely talented. But they gotta stop acting like they are like the smartest people around. Because they're clearly not. Things need to change in New England. The way they've clearly been doing stuff just hasn't been working. And that needs to change.
So what's your floor and ceiling?
I'm going to go 9 and 5. I'm going to go ceiling 9, floors 5 games.
So, Alan, I'm very sorry for saying this, but New England as a team to me is fucking boring, you know? Like they're not good, they're not bad, they're just fucking there. Just you know, like even when they were winning all these Super Bowls, they were just like, it just felt like boring, and now the talent's gone, and it just feels like, oh, the Patriots are on. Whatever, I'm gonna go back to playing I'm gonna go back to eating my pot roast or whatever. You know, it's like, it just feels like, you know, like they're starting to get into the Titans hole of, oh yeah, you exist. You know, and to me, some moves that really cemented that for me were the Hunter Henry and Yanu Smith acquisitions. To me, those were the ones where they said, "All right, screw it, we're taking the old people now," and you know, that's why you know, I see them as like, you know, they're going to be good enough that they can't pick high, but they're not going to be good enough to get into the playoffs. So my ceiling for them is 9 wins, and my floor for them is 8 wins.
Oh, the epitome of mid. That is mid.
I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to go the same way. I mean, the Patriots, they still have Bill Belichick. I mean, Mac Jones is not bad. He's decent. And, you know, the roster's got some good pieces, but nothing about this roster pops up as anything special. I mean, I'm gonna go the direct opposite of what I did with the Dolphins. I'm gonna go with, like, the epitome of mid. Ceiling 9, floor 8, meh. Sorry, Alan.
Off.
That's fine.
All right, can I go now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna talk a little bit about the team before I, obviously for not too long. I'm just gonna like say some stuff, mainly about Bill Belichick. So yeah, like Bill Belichick, obviously, I don't ever see the Patriots being bad enough where they're picking in like the top 5 with Bill Belichick. He will just never let that happen. He will find a way to squeeze like at least like 7 wins out of like a mediocre roster every year. Because that's what Bill Belichick does. But also, this team does not really have a high ceiling whatsoever. Because they have just a mediocre and, like Spencer said, a very boring offense. Let's be honest here. With all due respect, their wide receiver 1 right now is Juju Smith-Schuster. Juju Smith-Schuster is your wide receiver 3. That's fine if he's your wide receiver 1. Not great.
Corvette right into the Boston
They will
Harbor.
likely be a good defense. I could see them having a top 10 defense, potentially. But I once again don't see the offense being good enough to compensate for their defense. So I am going to go, although I do think the play calling this year will be better, because how could it be worse than it was last year with Matt Patricia?
Oh yeah, big thing. Bill O'Brien is a coordinator. He's a fine offensive coordinator.
Yeah, I was gonna say Bill O'Brien.
God awful coach.
The Patriots' offense this year will at least be functional with Bill O'Brien. It will not be an unmitigated disaster. So I believe the Patriots' ceiling this year is 9 wins and their floor is 6.
9-6. All right. They'll be.
Get it, guys. Funny number 69.
Bad.
I did not do that on purpose, I swear.
Is that a tribute to Gronk or something?
69.
Aha, 69 CTE, go Burr.
All right. So this is my turn. My turn for this. My turn to talk about the Patriots experience. I will say with this New England team, it is similar to how others feel. It's like New England, for me, like they feel like a team where it's like if they do bad, it's not going to be like bad enough to be, you know, at the absolute top tier crop of the talent in the draft. But also if they do well enough, it's like Like, it's like this team just feels like a team that will just be like a game or two back of a playoff spot. That's really how I do see this New England team. And obviously, obviously you hope to God that New England isn't as big of a mess, and especially offensively, but also another thing for New England is they need to be something I really noticed with New England last year that was even more revealing to me than just how bad their offensive play calling was just how fucking stupid this team was. I mean, all I
Oh
need to
yeah.
do is point
They
to the
were so
the
fucking
end.
sloppy.
Yeah, all I need to do is point to the Raiders game and just say, see, look at that. This is stupid football. I saw that shit live, and I still can't believe that shit happened. Like, that was the epitome of the 2022 New England Patriots. Just stupid decision making, not just with the coaching, but also the players. It felt like an Impractical Jokers episode. It truly did.
All right, Q. Now what you're going to do is
Yeah, it's just
All right,
New
Q,
England.
go call an NFL offense.
Yeah.
Go throw the ball backwards to the opposing team.
It's like with the Cardinals, Jonathan Gannon is Murr coaching an NFL team.
Yeah, and it's like genuinely, it's like I feel like the defense will still be good. Like it's just my worry for the defense is it's not going to be good enough to make up for the real lack of talent on the offense. And I will say for Mac Jones, here's my thoughts on Mac Jones, because obviously he needs time. Young quarterbacks need time. I'm always willing to give young quarterbacks time, as long as they're not a piece of shit in the locker room. Which, from what I see, Mac Jones seems to be a good enough dude in terms of locker room and all of that. I will say, now, if he plays similar to 2021, where even if it's more just like average play, but he shows promise, I think he'll get a fourth year. That's how I see it. But if he plays like, if it's similar to like last season, where it's like because I will say this, and this is similar to how I felt about Derek Carr, is like, yeah, Josh McDaniels was awful, but there were also moments where Derek Carr had some really, really bad moments last season. And I will say, with
And I
Mac
thought
Jones,
McDaniels did good with Mac Jones. I thought they had a good offense
yeah,
his rookie year.
but like with Derek Carr, it didn't go too well last season. With Matt Jones, it's like, yeah, it was some really, like, the coaching, and like, yeah, it's literally a former defensive coordinator and a special teams.
Now calling plays for them.
Yeah, what's the worst that can happen? Like, oh, what's the fucking
It
worst
was
that
a
could happen
fucking
there?
clown show, as you would
Just,
expect
I will
it to
say,
be.
like, it was awful, and Matt Jones definitely did not benefit at all from that. But there were still moments last season where Matt Jones himself just looked really, like, even with that context, it's just like, ugh, this is not good from him.
oh
So,
brother, this guy stinks.
with Matt Jones, it's like you just want him to just show some promise, just show like this dude that still has promise after like nearly having the life sucked out of him because of Patricia and Judge Gobert. And I'm sure with Bill O'Brien, because obviously Bill O'Brien, offensive coordinator, should be fine. There will be improvement shown, hopefully, with them, but because of the lack of talent on the Patriots, there's a lot of work that needs to be done with this New England team. And I don't even know if this is a hot take or not, but I'm gonna be real with the Patriots here. If they miss the playoffs again, which feels like a very likely scenario, I'll just say this: if they miss the playoffs, I think they need to just say fuck it and fully embrace trying to do an actual rebuild. I'm gonna be dead serious. They need to do that. If they can't get it together.
I thought you were gonna say they should fire. I thought you were gonna say they should fire Bill Belichick.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna go
they
that
won't fire
far.
him. He'll
Yeah,
just
they're not gonna
retire.
fire Belichick. I mean, if
Ow.
That would be a
anything,
real
if
hot
anything,
take.
yeah, that would be a real hot take. It's just, if anything with Belichick, they'll probably say, look, this isn't working. If you could say that this is your last season, just retire into
Yeah,
the sunset,
pull
that'd be fine.
a Sean Payton, like after 2021, I think it was.
I just say, you know what, it's just time for you to go, but
It's not you,
we'll
it's
let
me.
you go. We'll let you go. Respect, okay? So that's what would
Robert
happen
Kraft
there.
would have to tell him that.
I feel like New England, and honestly, I will admit regarding the Patriots, because I don't see them truly falling off. But if they do, like, I don't know. It's just the Patriots. Part of me, for some reason, feels reminded of like the final years with the Cowboys and Tom Landry. I don't know. I just get vibes to that era because it was like, I don't know. It feels just like New England. Just they need direction, and right now there's not that direction. So I guess if I had to say the floor and ceiling, I mean, it's definitely a stretch here, but I'll go 10 because Patriots bullshit somehow. Just that's only considering the Patriots bullshit and the voodoo magic, but 10 is really being nice here. Their floor, I'd say 5. 5 feels like their floor.
Yeah, it's like 5, 6, or 7 wins probably is their floor.
Yeah.
Very,
Who's
very nice.
is that? Everybody?
I think it's Aiden.
I think so.
I need Aiden and now.
Nah, Aiden went already. I thought.
Aiden, what was Aiden's?
9 and 8, like me.
9 and 8.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think they just called him the epitome of mid.
Yeah.
Alan, what was Alan's?
Alan, what was yours?
I think I said like 10 and or 9
10
wins
And
and
what
6
was the...
or 5 or 6 or whatever.
Yeah, 9
Yeah.
and 6 because we.
Yeah, that
it was a
line-
69 joke.
Yeah, it's 69 again.
I
Woohoo!
thought Jake was the one who made that. Yeah, Jake was the one who made that.
69.
All right, Jake, Jets. Floor is yours.
I'm.
All right. You know what? I don't think the Jets have been talked about enough this offseason, so I'm going to talk about them.
God.
Yeah, I just had to get that in there. Okay, so I feel like to talk about this year, we have to talk about what happened in 2022 to start. Okay, obviously 2022 did not end how any Jets fan wanted it to. The season started off very promising. I mean, they were like, let me recheck their schedule right now to give you the exact rundown. They at one point this in 2022, they were 5-2 going in to week 8. And then they were 6-3 going into the bye week. Then after the bye week is when it really just started to fall apart because that New England game was, to say the least, game was just an unmitigated disaster. Because that was the game where Zach Wilson just completely fell apart on the field and off the field in the locker room, which then led to him being benched for the GOAT, Mike effin' White, who then came in against the Bears. He threw like 4 touchdowns. Great game. Vibes were through the roof. We thought, oh, we're going to go on a run with Mike White. We're making the playoffs, baby. And then we lost that heartbreaking game against the Vikings where Braxton Berrios dropped the game-winning touchdown.
It was heartbreaking for us too because we can't have a normal game, and my heart almost gave out.
And then after that, you had the Bills game, which Mike White got fucking speared in that game. He broke his ribs. Zach Wilson had to come back. It predictably did not go well. And then, including that
Wasn't there
Vikings game,
Joe Flacco,
including that Vikings game, they did not win a game for the rest of the season. They finished the season 0-6. So after all the promise of the start to obviously finish 0-6 was very depressing. But it became pretty clear after that, this team needs one thing. They need a quarterback.
And
what
his name is Ayahuasca Jones.
And there were options this year for sure. You had Derek Carr on the free agent market. That did not happen. He went to the Saints. You could have had Jimmy Garoppolo, reunite him with Saleh, and he went to Vegas to still be mid. And then you also, I don't remember who else the other options were.
You could have brought Joe Flacco back.
You could have had Daniel Jones and Geno Smith. There was always a long shot, but they were options. Then we get to the Ayahuasca Jones himself, Aaron Rodgers. So obviously, as we know, with how his season ended in Green Bay, his future was very uncertain. But even I could tell you through that entire offseason, my motto was always the same. Until the trade goes through, I'm not believing it because this is Aaron Rodgers. And this was such a long fucking cycle. I was so tired of it by the end. At least we got it done, but
You went on a
God, that
freaking
was fucking
darkness retreat and
God,
everything.
it was fucking exhausting. I hope I never have to go through that again, especially dealing with Packers fans on Twitter and their leverage talk.
Oh, that
But hey,
I'm still
guess
salty
what,
about
Nick?
the
The bad
Chiefs.
man is
that
gone.
leverage talk was so fucking
even
cringe.
Even Tom Grossi made a joke about it in his video. That's how cringe it
Yeah.
was.
Like I said, the bad man is gone, Nick. The bad man is gone.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
much to the delight of
Yes.
every single Bears
Yes.
fan on the planet. That is until it's somehow Jets Bears in the Super Bowl. I don't know how, but
God.
God will will it into existence. Anyways, as I was saying. So yes, I mean, I think it's pretty clear to see why people, Jets fans and other media are high on this team because obviously, you have so much young talent on this team. You got Garrett Wilson, you got Sauce Gardner, Quinnen Williams, and it just seems obviously the main take, and it's correct, is that they're missing the quarterback, and now you presumably have it. Even if he's not the MVP version of himself, if he is just 60% of that, I think the team will be fine. And I mean, like literally last year in most metrics, we were like at least top 3 in defense. And that was without forcing that many turnovers. So it wasn't like it was lucky. And they didn't really lose anybody. They brought back most of the defense. So I don't see why the defense would be worse. And obviously the offense will be better. Adding Aaron Rodgers and of course adding some of his Packers friends, Alan Lazard and Randall Cobb. Of course, I have to mention the New York Packers. And we also added McCole Hardman from the Chiefs, who could be a nice little speed threat on punt returns, on end arounds, be a guy who gets yards after the catch and all that. So yeah,
we actually have a bit of a Iowa State Cyclones reunion over with the New York Jets.
With Breece Hall and Alan Lazard. That is correct.
And that new defensive end you guys drafted in the first.
Yes, Will McDonald, the Iowa State blood through the Jets is actually the pipeline is starting to build a bit.
Yeah.
So
you might trade for Brock Purdy if.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously, this roster is good enough to compete, and I think everybody can acknowledge that. But this is a big year for the coaching staff because I've liked what Robert Saleh's done with the locker room and the culture, but let's be real. The wins first 2 years haven't really been there. Not all his fault, but still, he will. If you're the head coach, you are taking the blame for most of that. So if this season goes haywire early in the scenario that does happen, there is a chance he could be out of a job. So I would say this is a pretty big prove-it year for him. This is also a redemption year for Nathaniel Hackett after how bad, we don't need to talk about it, how horrible that Denver run was. We don't need to really mention that again. We've talked about that enough.
Well, Sean Payton sure did.
Yeah, but
fucking loser.
Sean Payton, I mean, yeah, he obviously
he's
mentioned
not
Nathaniel
wrong.
Hackett. We already know that, but at the same time, he's not wrong, but I feel like it was unnecessary, and I do think obviously working with Aaron Rodgers again, who, Rodgers won those 2 MVPs with him in Green Bay, it's like I think that will lead to better results for him this time around.
And also, I think he's a fucking loser because of Bountygate. Fuck you.
You guys just aren't made to be head coaches, and he's not one of them. Okay, so my official floor and ceiling prediction. I believe the Jets have a floor of 8 wins and a ceiling of 12.
All right.
I just don't think the quarterback play will be bad enough like it was last year, even if Rodgers is declined to a point where they win like 6 games or something, or like 5 games, like Denver.
Okay. Okie day. It is
All right, everybody, give your predictions about my team.
The
For your
Jets
floor and
quite
ceiling.
perplex me because I feel like I've kind of already seen. I feel like I've already seen this season happen before, you know? I feel like this season has happened already.
You.
Yeah.
I've seen this season happen already, and realistically, you know, at the end of the day, it's not their fault. No matter what, it's not
Hold
their
on,
fault.
I forgot to mention something. I'll talk a bit about this. I forgot to talk about the schedule because, good lord, these first 6 games before the bye week. Week 1, Monday Night Football opener, Buffalo. Then next week at Dallas, home versus New England, who's our daddy. Versus Kansas City, primetime Sunday Night Football at Denver. Sean Payton game. Obviously, that has stakes to it now. And versus Philadelphia. That is a brutal first 6 games, to say the least. We just gotta hope we come out of that at least like 3-3, or else this season could be an uphill climb from there if we start like 2-4, or God forbidding 1-5 or something like that.
I was gonna say I've seen this season before, but I can't just quite put my finger on where I've seen this season before. 2008. God, I must have had something stuck in my throat.
Yes, the Brett Favre. Oh no,
Yeah.
I said the bad word. Oh no.
Well, at least for
hopefully Aaron Rodgers is not taking dick pics.
yeah. Hopefully we don't get one of these moments.
He's pulling his cock out.
Hope we don't get that. Hopefully he doesn't steal welfare from children either, like Brett Favre does.
However, I do already see that with Kirk Cousins' contract expiring after this season.
Oh no.
We all know what comes next. We all know what comes next. Say it with me. Vikings legend Aaron Rodgers.
He already took a pay cut. He's staying for at least another year after this, and then he'll be a Viking for like 1 year, and then he'll retire.
It hurts me to say it though, man. Fuck.
Oh god. Oh wait. Oh god. That would mean he's back to my division. Oh fuck.
Yeah, see? Nobody wins! Nobody fucking wins!
Nobody wins!
Twist instead of the
That's so true, though!
He's the next quarterback of the Chicago Bears.
Ah! Oh god!
Not the Chicago Bears, anything but that!
Hollywood Hogan heel turn personified in the NFL.
Oh
my god.
Aaron, don't make the same mistakes Brett did. As far as
He's already up to a better start than Brett, I can tell you that.
As far as ceiling and floor goes, ceiling 10 wins, floor 9.
See, a 10-win season I would take that. That's like that would be enough to get into the playoffs probably.
Just keep it in your pants, dude. Keep it in your pants.
Agreed.
That's advice for everybody. Keep it in your pants.
Put your dick away, Walter.
Oh no, what's that photo?
Oh god!
Anyways, who is next?
I'm gonna go. Here's the thing: ceiling's 10, floor 7. If anything, Zach Wilson already looks better, and that's what me at is the most.
Yes, he looks much better in the Hall of Fame game. hoping for a redemption tour in 2 years or 3 years, whenever this is over.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we get there, though.
Indeed, we shall.
Well, how I say it, with this Jets team, hopefully I don't use a time machine, sneeze during it, and end up back in a timeline where Aaron Rodgers is wearing a Bears uniform. So,
Yes,
getting that
hopefully
out of
that
the
doesn't
way.
happen, on all seriousness.
Yes. But anyways, regarding the Jets are a very interesting. Well, obviously one of the probably one of, if not the
I
most
mean,
talked
yeah,
about
also
team this
hard
offseason.
knocks, obviously.
Yep, hard knocks.
Yeah,
Hard
but
knocks
not as fun as Dan Campbell.
coming out the same week as Johnny Manziel admits that he never watched game film. But yeah,
Yes,
that's a
but also
discussion
that
for-
Robert
We'll talk
Saleh's-
more about that later. We'll
that
talk more
Robert
about that.
Saleh's speech on Hard Knocks was great. I recommend you all watch it.
Yeah, I can imagine it was great. Because, I mean, here's my thing with the coaching staff and that. I gotta say, I really do hope Robert Saleh succeeds. Because I like him. He seems like a great guy. I really do hope he can earn it in his proven year. Because I definitely think he's done a lot of things right. He just needs to just get the wins. That's what he really...
Yes,
He just
exactly.
needs to get the damn wins. Nathaniel Hackett, just for the love of God, just what you want is just listen to Rodgers. You know, you're Rodgers' guy. Just do what he has to do.
In the
please.
words of the great LeVar Ball, stay in your lane.
Yes. And I also say, their defensive coordinator also deserves praise, in my opinion. I think
Yes,
that
Jeff
needs to be said.
Ulbrich is, in my opinion, one of the more underrated coaches in the NFL because
Yeah, he's done a really
he's
good job
kept the
with that.
team. He kept the team afloat last year, despite all the bad quarterback plays. How good this defense was.
Yeah, it's just the Jets, how I see it. Like, there is, as noted, there's a lot of young talent on this team that obviously, I definitely think when bringing a guy like Rodgers, I definitely
Yeah,
think
that's
that
what
suits
makes
better.
that's what makes me more optimistic. Is that there was already a young nucleus in place. You just needed to plug a veteran quarterback in there who can still play.
Yeah, and obviously hoping that just want to ask, what's the status on Breece Hall right now? Just want to ask.
So Breece Hall, I think. Okay, now I can talk about Dalvin Cook a bit. So obviously, we all know Dalvin Cook. It was like 2 weeks ago, he visited with the Jets. It was a long visit. He did not leave with a contract. It has been reported that they are a bit apart on money right now, but it does seem like he does want to be a Jet. And however, if that does not get done, I mean, I'll say it. One of our backup running backs, Zonovan Knight, has been looking very good in training camp this year, and he looks to be showing flashes. So I would be fine with him if handling things for a bit.
What's his name?
Before Zonovan Knight.
Oh yeah, Zonovan Knight. Yeah.
Yeah, if Breece
He
Hall
looks
needs more
flashy.
time to get back to speed, which, I mean, he's a running back coming off a torn ACL, he still might.
Yeah.
But so I think he can handle it for a bit, and if we do get Dalvin to help with that, that's great, obviously. But the hope is they can carry the float, they can carry it, even if Breece is active, and then by the time we get to late October, early November, Breece is rolling again, and he's back to being the Breece Hall he was before the injury. Right now he's still on the PUP list though, but I would think he'll probably be back early in the season because all indications are his recovery is going good right now.
Yeah. The way I see it with the Jets, I feel like obviously Rodgers will obviously has to do what he's got to do. I feel like the big question for this Jets team, in my opinion, really will be. I feel like it's going to be the O-line. That's the huge question.
I was waiting for someone to mention this offensive line.
The O-line. That is a big question right there.
I would specifically say the tackles. Because the interior is good. The tackles, on the other hand, are a massive question mark.
Yeah.
Let's see who you got as.
Because I think every Jet, because most Jets fans presumed the starters were going to be Dwayne Brown and Mekhi Becton. Here's the thing about that. Dwayne Brown, I think all indications are he should be ready for week 1. He's not back yet from the PUP list. He's also 37 years old coming off of shoulder surgery, so he's not exactly somebody you want to be relying on. And Mekhi Becton, well, everybody, his injury issues have been well documented. He's had his disagreements with the coaching staff about what position he's playing. He's made that very public. I still think there is a chance he could be on the outs and he might get traded before the season if he is not a starter and he proves he can't get back to being like a full-time guy, but I want him to succeed. It feels like with how we went about it, we sort of really need him to.
Yeah.
Because if he's even half of what he was his rookie season, that's still better than what we could be rolling with.
We have. Mind if I list off the names other than Becton and Brown?
I mean, yes, but the names aren't good. I can tell you that.
We have Grant Hermans.
Hang on, that is a third string guy. That is not. I can tell you the backups. I have the depth chart.
Lang.
These are not guys. These
All
are
right.
like practice squad guys.
Max Mitchell.
Okay, yeah, that's somebody who's actually looking to compete for a starting spot, and he showed promise last season before unfortunately he had a medical condition that shut him down. But it appears that he's gotten worse this offseason, which isn't great.
Adam Pankey.
We're talking about tackles, not the interior.
No, Pankey is a tackle.
He's a right guard on our lads.
God damn it, Wikipedia.
Fucking Wikipedia.
So yeah, our
shit.
backup left tackle right now. So right now, and the other guy is Billy Turner, who I do not want starting, because if he's like your fourth or fifth offensive lineman, that's fine. But if he's your opening night starter, that's just not ideal.
Well, Rodgers really wanted him for some reason.
No, Nathaniel Hackett did, because he was with him in Denver. He was on that Broncos team last year. He was throwing shots at Sean Payton on Instagram. He does not like Sean Payton.
He was with the Packers from 2019 to 2021.
Yes, he followed Nathaniel Hackett to Denver.
Mm.
Anyways.
Alright. I'll go next because I gotta get my butt to bed soon. I gotta go to work in the morning. So
Alright,
I'm just
so you
gonna
can go.
say for the Jets, ceiling's like 10 wins, floor's like 5, maybe even 4, and that just depends on if Rodgers completely shits the bed or not, or gets hurt, one of the two.
Well, Alan, it's been a pleasure.
Huge thanks for joining in. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Big thanks for coming on, man. I appreciate it. I like hopefully at one point do the stream.
Alan, you are my new favorite Patriots fan. And
I hope
so take that as a compliment.
I hope one day we can have you on for another episode at some point in the future. All you just to do is ask.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Thanks for coming
All
on.
right.
Thank
Night.
you.
Good night.
Good night.
Make sure to subscribe to his YouTube channel if you haven't.
Okay.
All right. Nick, what was your ceiling and floor for the Jets?
I'll give it. I will say though, at the very least, if there is something, if you're the Jets, I think another thing to like is at the very least, Rodgers at least looks like he's in a better state of mind right now. I will say that he does look to be in a better state of mind for the time being in terms
Yeah, because last year he had the thumb injury, but it also seemed like he just wasn't really giving it his all out there.
Almost like he was immunized against winning.
He was clearly very aggravated with the rookie receivers that the
that was
Packers were running out there. That was pissing him off.
But still, it's not like Romeo Doubs and Christian Watson were bums. They look to be studs.
No, this was a Rodgers thing where he was.
I know.
Like he was trying to prove a point to them that like.
Yeah, it's
I'm
just,
not going to play with these guys. You're not giving me what I.
You're not Devontae. Throws interception.
He was pretty much just mad. It was a Packers problem. He had a Packers problem, clearly.
It was bad blood between him and the front office. That's how I see it. It was just
fucking Gutekunst.
Yeah, him and Brian Gutekunst do not like each other right now, to say the least.
It was a relationship that could not get resolved, and it needed to change. So, at the very least, he seems to be in a better state of mind right now. And as for how I feel about how this Jets team will do, I think their ceiling is like, the thing is, I do have to remember that this Jets team managed to win 7 games last year when the majority of the season their starting quarterback was Zach Wilson. I have to remember that.
And they also started Mike White, and they also started Joe Flacco for a few games.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So the way I see it with this Jets team, I'm definitely gonna be kind of nice here. I think their ceiling's like 12. I think 12 wins would be a great season for them.
Thank you. I appreciate you being nice.
And I think the floor for me, I'm just gonna for the floor, I'll go 7 because I just feel like at their worst, I feel like considering they have Rodgers, it will be like at their worst. I just don't see this team doing worse because
Yeah, even the pessimistic, Jets fans side of me, which we're born to be pessimistic. Even I don't think it'll end up being as bad as like
with the Zach
some
Wilson.
people might think.
It's just I just gotta say, just saying this as the Bears fan, because the Bears fan here can also relate in terms of quarterback issues over the history of their team and stuff. So it's like, I'm like, yeah, I really do hope the Jets can figure this out, and hopefully Rodgers can do well with what he's working with here.
And please, God, don't send him to the Vikings.
Don't come back to our division, though, please and thank you.
But Spencer, you
Well, as I
love them in
mentioned
your
earlier,
division.
I think the
you
pay-
love
I
them.
think the fact that he took the pay cut was a big sign of how he feels
Yeah,
about his current
that too.
situation.
Yeah.
That was
Like he
huge.
like obviously incoming Packers fans salt. Why didn't he take a pay cut with us?
I
Shut
will
up,
say, though, I do
Packers
have to agree.
fans.
I do have to agree.
And to
with
that
what-
I say, you're right, but cope and see.
Scope and
Fucking
see.
cheesehead.
I will say though, with this thing, because I do have to agree, because of all people, Gage did make a great point that Rodgers does seem to be following the Tom Brady route here in terms of taking pay cuts in order to
Yes.
get more players to join.
And I
that
don't
can-
like to think too far ahead to like the trade deadline if some certain receivers could be available.
Yeah.
For example, I'm gonna not mentioning any names, but if the Raiders are in a bad spot, there's a certain somebody who may or not have played with Aaron Rodgers before that is currently on that team.
Yep.
And there's also
I
maybe
cannot.
potentially Mike Evans if
Yeah.
Tampa's like bad. But I
Yeah, I
can't.
cannot wait.
Seeing him in another seeing another uniform would be weird.
Yeah, I cannot wait to talk about the Raiders because I'm just gonna shit on them.
Same.
Wait, you telling-
I mean, they. Here's the thing: we play the Raiders this year, and that is a Sunday night game for some reason. Oh wait,
It's
no,
it's
Rodgers.
gonna get
It's
flexed.
Rodgers Devontae, of course it is. Of course it's a
Yeah.
primetime
It's
game.
gonna get flexed.
Right now.
That
But
shit will get flexed.
if the Raiders are that bad, I don't see them being on a Sunday night game that late in the season.
Yeah.
Which there's a good chance they might be, especially if Jimmy G gets injured.
Yeah, they do. They also. I'm pretty sure. Oh yeah, they have the Nickelodeon game too.
Isn't that the game
God.
against the Chiefs on Christmas?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
my
We are
God.
exposing
boy.
kids to the Las Vegas Raiders now. This is worse than what the Republicans say is the LGBT community.
Oh God.
It's worse than
God.
They say that's bad, but we're exposing kids to the Las Vegas Raiders on Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
not
here's the
cute.
thing. We gave him Broncos Rams last year.
Yeah, but that game at least looked promising going into the season.
And it
because you
also
thought-
had Patrick Starr saying
yeah,
probably
people
one
thought,
of the-
it'd be Russell Wilson versus Matthew Stafford.
Oh,
In terms of, I just
that's
want to
not what he wanted to cook.
we did get that. We did get that.
Yeah, I do just want to say though, like honestly, like in terms of like Nickelodeon, it's like, listen, I'm just gonna say this, please for the love of God, have a game where SpongeBob and Patrick are just commentating the entire
All right.
game.
Oh, yeah, I agree, but okay, let's get back on track now. That we
Let's get back on track.
We'll have ADD mode soon. ADD mode soon. Aiden,
For
Spencer,
sure.
just give me your ceilings and floors.
Ceiling and floor.
And then we can get into baseball.
All right, so speaking about the Jets, one thing I've always figured out about the Jets, one thing, I like their head coach, Robert Saleh, former
Yes,
49er.
sir, San Francisco.
Yeah, I have a soft spot for former 49ers coaches. Like I have
Yeah,
a soft
hope to-
spot for McDaniel.
Wait, have you guys
Soft
talked about
spot
the
for
AFC
Saleh.
South yet?
No.
Not
No.
yet.
I'm
Got
gonna
a soft
say I
spot for
will just
D'Amico.
mention that I am very excited to see how D'Amico Ryans does. I think he will do well with Houston.
Hell yeah. Anyway, so the thing is with the Jets is I don't really see any big weakness apart from potentially offensive line, and I just think quarterback could be their weakness, but they got Rodgers, and
Their
Rodgers
biggest
appears to.
weaknesses themselves.
Oh, okay. Starting comments aside, Rodgers seems to be in a better mood right now. He's not being cancerous. He's actually being a good teammate. Hallelujah. Anyways, regarding the Jets, this team could actually do well. The only thing against them is they're tough. Like division and the potential of
schedule.
Rodgers. Oh, tough schedule. I mean, tough schedule and the
Tough
potential.
schedule and tough division.
Yeah, both. Yeah, and the fact that Rodgers, well, I mean, he's in a good mood, but does he have what it takes, like physically? I think he does.
And there's
Anyways,
always the thought that creeps into the back of your mind where it's like, oh, is this gonna end poorly like it usually does? Is it gonna be the same old Jets and all that? Like all that.
Oh, are they gonna fumble this time?
Yes,
Yeah.
that is like another reason to be pessimistic. I
but
can't even
every
deny
year's a
that.
new year. Every year's a new year, so I'm gonna be nice to the Jets actually.
Aww.
Their ceiling is gonna be, assuming everything goes right, 15 wins.
15?
No.
I mean, dude,
Whoa.
if we win 15 games, I will like do something that is like outlandish.
Will you tattoo Aaron Rodgers on your butthole?
No, I will like, I'll jump to like a flaming.
I just
table
talked to one of my the guy whose wedding I attended to, and he said it's the Mariners win the division. He's gonna tattoo Julio's name on his butthole, and I'm like, no.
All right, hold on, I have it. If the Jets win, I have it. If the Jets win 15 games, I will get a Robert Saleh tattoo.
On your
On your
butthole?
I will get a beautiful bald head tattooed on my butthole.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Aiden, what's the floor?
Now for the floor, if things get to the worst, I still think this roster has some decent talent. They're not gonna bottom out and become like the Jets of old. They're probably gonna have
last year.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna go with like eight wins as the floor.
Okay.
They're not gonna be bad, but they're gonna be mid if things go wrong.
Spencer!
They still got talent.
I didn't get yours.
Honestly, my reasonable expectation is to win like 11 games and win a playoff game. I'd be happy with that season.
Dude, I already said
I'm dumb. I didn't.
floor is 9, ceiling is 10. You need to get better at like listening to people. when
I
they
do.
talk,
I
okay?
should, but my brain was there, and then
My-
both not.
My brother in Christ, go to therapy.
I know, but never.
Or try some of the devil's lettuce.
Brother in Christ,
that-
drink water.
Take some ayahuasca.
Yeah, like everybody's favorite quarterback, the I'm immunized, Aaron Rodgers. Whoa, I'm gonna go in the dark for 4 days, bro.
Wait a minute, hold on. I already talked to my family about this already. I will mention something else. If the Jets won the Super Bowl this year, I would go on a darkness retreat.
You're kidding.
I am half kidding.
Oh, that's fucking funny. All right, baseball. Our annual weekly update about our team performance on the farm. Actually, 2
Annual
weekly.
weekly? What the fuck?
Sorry.
Look,
We
but
talk
I'm
about
talking
our
about my
teams.
team right
We have
now.
talked about our teams and our farm system every episode.
I'll talk about.
All right, if it's okay, can I go first?
Yes, go for it.
Go
for it.
Wait, can I go after
All
this
right.
and get my team out of the way?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I've been waiting to say these names when talking about the youngins or the Giants. One name that I've been waiting to say is this guy, Bryce Eldridge. He's been heavily hyped among many Giants fans, and his first few games in the I think it was like the rookie league level. He's been pretty good. Like the Giants farm system in general has been pretty solid. Let me take a look at some names.
Exciting.
Oh yeah, another guy I've been looking at was Wade Meckler. He's currently with let me check Sacramento, and he's been doing pretty good as well.
Nice.
And Kyle Harrison, apparently he's been getting looks from the major league team, so we're hoping that he could get some major league playing time in the future. But other than that, Giant Farm System's doing really well. Some of the guys have already been promoted. Like Bailey's pretty much a major leaguer at this point. Schmidt's been sent down, but it's for the best because he needs to work on his bat. Elliot Ramos is healthy again, and I'm hoping he did have a good play today. We lost, but Elliot Ramos did a great pinch hitting double, which turned to a triple because of a defensive error. And what's his face? Matos has been doing solid, especially in defense. He had an error a few days back, but I won't sweat too much about it. And Luciano is back in AAA, and honestly, it's for the best. He's a great player already, but he needs a bit more seasoning. Other than that, the major league team, I know we're in a bit of a slump. Lost the last 3 games, but you know what? I still believe in this team. We may not. Well, I mean, at the very least, we might make the playoffs, but I doubt we're gonna go far. Nevertheless, we'll need to win the World Series this year. We just need to get better. See what we got, keep improving.
Maybe win the Super Bowl.
Hey, there's a Giants that could win the Super Bowl, to be fair.
Yeah, that's the other Giants. But anyways, I'm fine with how the team's going. And by the way, I'm gonna finish by calling out Giants Twitter. Y'all are ridiculous. Y'all are cheering for the Rangers just because you hate Kapler. Y'all are so negative. Y'all are the reason why I've been quitting Twitter during games because you guys are pain to be around. We're fine. We'll be fine. Even if we don't make the playoffs, we'll be fine next year. So you know what? This team's fine. We'll be all right. To quote Kendrick Lamar, we gonna be all right.
Yes, sir.
Amen.
Love the K.
Now it's time for the Mets fan to state his words about the Mets.
I consider this. Let this be your therapy session. Let it out. Let it all out.
This is my reaction to having to talk about this team still.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's been a rough
2015 and
one.
beyond, it could honestly be worse.
What? I mean, this season has just been. I mean, it's just been an unmitigated disaster. I don't know how else to put it. I mean, this might. I didn't live through. Okay. I didn't live through 1992, which I believe that was the worst team money could buy. Part 1. Well, this is part 2, and this is the one case where the sequel's actually better than the original. One of the rare cases. I mean, but I'll say this though, honestly, I'm not gonna actually fully rage on this team because I thought we had a very good trade deadline considering the circumstances. This farm system looks so much more promising than it did before the trade deadline. Because for Max Scherzer, we acquired Ronald Acuna Jr.'s younger brother, Luis Angel Acuna, who is apparently already doing pretty well in AA, which is good. Hopefully he'll be up in a couple of years. It'll be fun to see him and Ronald go at it in the division. It's part of that rivalry. Drew Gilbert and Ryan Clifford were the main pieces we got in the Justin Verlander trade. Ryan Clifford tonight made his debut for the Brooklyn Cyclones. He went 2 for 3 with a home run, a walk, and 2 RBIs. He said he has 20 home runs overall on the minor league season, so I'm liking that we were able to get him. And Drew Gilbert is having a good season too. I believe he was the #1 prospect in the Astros system before this trade. So obviously to get him and Clifford, that's good job by the team. And the other guys we got for some of our other players, like Dave Robertson, Tommy Pham, Mark Canha, I doubt those guys will ever see the major league level, but they're lottery tickets. If 1 or 2 of them works out, I think you're happy with it. And you can eventually trade some of those guys for major league players when you're ready to compete again. And also in our system, guys we had Jet Williams, who's still an A+ ball. He's 19 years old, so doubt we're seeing him for a while. I mean, obviously the main one's Ronnie Mauricio. He's had a bit of an up and down season. I could see why Mets fans are frustrated. He hasn't been called up yet, especially with the team being out of contention. But like, if he's struggling, I feel like you just let him build his confidence more in AAA, and if he's ready for next season, you call him up then. But I think for the rest of the season, you let him continue to hit in AAA and like just get his confidence back. So I think if he goes up to the majors and struggles, doesn't really do him much favors right now. It might sour Mets fans on him already, which sucks.
Yeah.
As for pitching, I mean, we have a few guys. We have Mike Vasil in AAA who could be up next year. He's 23, not a high ceiling arm, but I think he could be like a good back end starter, which this team is going to need next year, especially if they're not going to be spending like they have in the past few years, according to Max Scherzer, obviously. And I'll say this though, looking ahead to the offseason for the Mets, I mean, there is one pitcher I think they need to go after. It's not Shohei Ohtani. It is from Japan. I believe his name is
Corbin Burns?
Yoshinobu Yamamoto.
Oh yeah.
He's 25 years old. So he is still in the prime of his career. So by the time this team is ready to compete again, I think he will still be in his prime, which is good. It's not like you're overspending on an old past his prime veteran, which we all know the Mets have done plenty of that.
Yep.
As for the Ohtani thing, I mean, I feel like you could never say never with Steve Cohen. I mean, would anybody really be shocked if he splurged on Ohtani and gave him like the most money?
No.
I don't think anybody would,
not
but
really.
like, but I don't know if that's I don't know if it's in the plans. Like, I doubt we're gonna be like the favorite, especially since Shohei has been made his presence known that he wants to probably stay on the West Coast. So
Yeah,
that already puts us behind the 8 ball a bit. And besides, if this team really is trying to like look for the long term and build up the farm more, I mean, I get you can't say no to Shohei Ohtani, but I can understand why they wouldn't really want him right now.
Yeah.
Because it feels like if you're like, oh, if you say Shohei, hey, you know what, we're gonna sign you for a while, but we're not gonna try and really be great the first few years. I don't think he'd want that. I think he wants to go to a team that's ready to compete right now.
Absolutely.
Which would be unfortunately, the Dodgers would fit that description.
God.
I think the Giants would fit that description. And I
Yes.
also think another team to make you happy, Nick, I think the Cubs would fit that description.
Yes, absolutely.
You already have Seiya Suzuki too. He could help recruit Ohtani. You have a nice.
Yeah.
He could be helpful there. He could recruit his Japanese brethren.
Absolutely.
But yeah, if the Mets get
That'd be
Yamamoto, I'll be
dope.
very happy. I mean, we already have Senga, so he could recruit. He could also recruit him. We could have 2 Japanese aces at the top of our rotation. That would be awesome. But yeah, I mean, it's been a bad season. Obviously, it's been massive disappointment. But I do think, compared to where we were like a month ago, I think the future for this team looks much brighter than it did just not even a month ago.
Say with the Mets at the very
That's
least.
really all
they-
I have
they
to
knew-
say.
Knew when to pull the plug, unlike
Yes, I will say
certain
this though.
California
That's
teams.
why I am happy we didn't. I'm happy doubling down would have been the worst thing this team could do. Doubling down on a team that is not going anywhere and standing pat at the trade deadline are the worst things a team could do.
Agreed.
Padres and the Yankees did both of those things, and obviously
Yeah.
both their fans, Yankees fans, are fucking furious right now.
Oh yeah.
We can argue whether they're acting spoiled or not, because it's not like this is like the worst team in
But
MLB.
if you really think about it, just with, like, I'm just talking about in pure baseball culture. The Yankees are probably the most recognizable logo in all of North America.
Like, I know if I say this, I'm gonna get yelled at by Yankees. Oh, you don't understand how hard the season is. But tell it to like a Pirates fan.
Yeah,
That
it's
their
Yeah.
worst season is where they're still over 500. Pirates fans would
wait.
sign up for that shit in a fucking
Oh, yeah.
heartbeat.
anybody
The way I
would.
see it, the way I
Amen.
see it with the Yankees, the way
Well,
I
I
see
just
it,
mentioned
like,
the Pirates because they've been not very good recently.
Yeah. The way I see it with the Yankees, it's like, yeah, this is a spoiled fan base, a very spoiled fan base, but also I do agree with Yankees fans that there are very, very valid criticisms of this organization from top to down. Like, absolutely.
100%.
Oh yeah, for sure.
This team, especially with their
I think
expectations.
that if they
deserve to
miss
get
the
shit.
playoffs, Aaron Boone is gone.
Yeah, I think Boone's honest. The thing with Boone is I feel like Boone, for me, like, just the way he is, it does feel like he's kind of just a puppet for the Yankees at this rate. He's been a puppet for a while, but I definitely think he'll be gone with the way the season is going. But I gotta say it right now, because it feels uncertain that this will happen. Probably not gonna happen because I don't know what this guy has on Hall, but like. The fact that they're not even considering firing Cashman is just beyond me, because it's like, this dude's overstayed his welcome. Let's be real.
They need a new start. Absolutely,
They
they
do.
need a new start. They
Also,
I just,
get rid of your stupid fucking beard rule.
Now,
Like,
I'll say this-
holy
Yeah.
shit.
Now hold on, I'll say this stuff. Like you said, Nick, man, they are a spoiled fan base, but like you said, I do understand their legit criticism. They actually have a
Yeah.
right to be upset because,
And I think another thing is
especially
this-
when Hal Steinbrenner goes on the radio and says stuff like, "I don't get why the fans are so upset."
oh yeah, God, yeah, that's just like, and I think what also doesn't help is the fact that not only are they underperforming, but also there's so much drama with this team. Like, there's
They're
been
also
a shit ton of
they're also an
drama.
old team too.
Yeah. And
Like
when
most
like
of
you know,
their hitters are like at least in their mid-30s.
yeah, and when guys like Anthony Volpe, who's supposed to be their #1 prospect, isn't getting up to par, and I feel like the Yankees culture right
Volpe
now
de-
is really not helping
Volpe
that.
deserves time, but I also think they set him up for failure, promoting him as like a savior.
We can talk about Rizzo
Yeah.
now. The Rizzo
Yeah.
situation, right?
I mean, we kind of
We can talk about
this
the off the
earlier,
field
but
stuff. We can talk about like
100%.
the Domingo
Like
Herman
his stupid
situation,
fucking
how he's a
beard
fucking
rule.
raging alcoholic.
yeah,
Fuck the beard rule, by the way.
that's
Yes,
bullshit.
the beard rule is
I
the
don't
worst
know
rule
why
in
they still have
sports.
that.
Hopefully, we can all agree on that.
It's
The
like,
beard
for
rule
God's sake,
it's
just,
it's
like, the
fucking
fact that the-
ridiculous.
The fact that the Yankees broke their tradition and got a sponsor on the shoulder patch, it's like, okay, if you do that, you can at the very least get rid of
Yeah,
beard.
let Garrett Cole grow his fucking beard back. He looks like a fucking badass in Houston with that beard.
Exactly,
Long hair.
exactly.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm gonna put, if I was a baseball player, I'd put the Yankees on my no trade list because of their beard rule. That's how much I hate it.
Yeah.
I'd put the Yankees. First two teams I put on my list are the Yankees and the A's.
Oh yeah.
Yankees and the Cardinals for me. But hey, good news for Yankees fans. The Cowboys look really good this year. So
And the Lakers will be back in no time.
Yes.
And who do they bandwagon for hockey this time?
they don't want hockey.
You think they watch hockey?
Bandwagoners
hockey's-
don't watch hockey.
Hockey's for nerds, bro.
Alabama football will be back soon.
Oh my god,
Oh,
I love
God.
football.
Oh,
Oh
God.
man, I
wait,
can't wait.
actually-
Hold on, I'm gonna actually look up who the fuck is Alabama wasting their time with. I've been checking the spreads. I mean, gambling bad, but if you ever want to know, and you ever get the feeling that maybe the school shouldn't be playing, another school, is if I don't know. The team just so happens to be favored by 39 fucking points!
That's what money does, though. You know how much the other team's probably getting paid?
I don't
Oh,
care.
They're getting paid so much
It's a
fucking money to
business, bro.
to lose by like 40 points to Alabama.
Here's the thing, I would love it if they just stopped, because I look at the schedule. There's like one or two good games. North Carolina, South Carolina, and LSU and Florida.
LSU Alabama is always good.
What's the Cyclones?
Oh my god, what the hell is an MTSU?
Middle
What the hell?
Tennessee State. They're the people who upset Michigan in 2007.
Yeah, but that's 2007.
No,
This
they upset Middle Tennessee upset Michigan State in March Madness in like 2016 or 2015.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the state
Oh,
for Michigan, the state you're thinking of Appalachian State.
right. My bad.
So wait, I just
Sorry.
want to say this: do not look up who what was the largest point spread upset in college football history. Just whatever you do, don't do that, please.
I'm looking it up right now.
Oh God.
Let me guess. UNLV.
Wait, hold on. You said largest college football spread upset?
A point spread upset.
Howard Bison over UNLV.
Done in my life. This is
40.5 point favorites.
Yeah.
And you lost. How?
By the way, let it be known that the quarterback of Howard was also the brother of Cam Newton. I just want to point out that fun fact. But what's hilarious about that loss as a UNLV fan is you see bowl games come along like snow does in Las Vegas. It happens like once a decade. And funny enough, we were close to having 2 in a decade. Only
Here's
problem
a funny
is,
upset. In 2017, Liberty was 34-point underdogs against Baylor, and they won 48-45.
oh yeah, that
Because
Baylor
fuck
team.
Baylor, especially with all the shit
Yeah.
that happens in their fucking...
Yeah.
Yeah, as an Iowa State fan, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Fuck Baylor.
I don't know if you remember, but like 2017, there was an incident where Matt Rule's boys just decided to, get real rough and decided to fight every single Cyclone on the field. It was...
Yeah. I want to say this because I do want to go back to baseball real soon, but I also want to, because we're on college football, I do want to just say the simple fact that right now, college football is fucking broken. It is broken right now.
Well,
I'm gonna.
Okay.
I don't think it's unpopular to say I don't like what's going on with college football right now.
here's my thing with, here's the thing. At the end of the day, the dissolving of Pac-12 is going to be
inevitable.
It's going to be good. I think it's a good thing for college football.
Yes, Pac-12 is a dog shit conference.
There's NIL deals now. Students are going to be able to make money in college playing college football right now. I feel like it gives enough excuse for them to do whatever they want. It's not like hockey where, could you imagine if you're 18 years old and you have to go to the East Coast and then Central and then Midwest, here, there. No, you're going somewhere and you're traveling once a week. Schools are clearly okay with, they're going to be paying hotels, they're going to be paying for flights, they're going to be paying for all of it. They're going to pay for everything. And it just means we're just getting better games. I think it's a step for the betterment of college football. I think eventually...
But here's my problem. My problem is when we're getting shit like Stanford or California to the ACC. How does that make any sense?
They shot that down. They've shot that down. That's not happening.
Is that happening or is that?
No, they've said no. They've said no.
Roadblock.
I was gonna say because I saw
that
Nick Man send that where it was like a post, a tweet where it was like ACC, West Coast teams to ACC, and it was zooming in on Atlantic Coast Conference.
Yeah, no, I've heard that's probably a no.
I also think that the California teams in the Big Ten is getting a bit overkill.
I get it with the Big Ten and Big 12 because at the very least,
like USC in the Big Ten makes sense. I think that is actually fine. Like them, for example.
I do get that at the very least. The name itself does not directly reference that. Yeah, this is a conference about a certain region of the country, like the Atlantic or the South, and then all of a sudden you have one of those conferences even just considering the fact that, hey, maybe we should add a team that's all the way near the Pacific Ocean.
I will say I am excited for USC versus Michigan State because it's going to be a battle of the Trojans versus the Spartans.
Oh yeah, that will be exciting. It's just, I will say though, like, if there is some things that worry about, it is because money does talk. It is really a fucking shame though that that schools like Oregon State and Washington State are gonna get fucked over by this, and it sucks for Oregon State because they really were getting a lot better as of late, especially football wise. But unfortunately,
it's like they're in a conference now with like no competition to prove themselves against.
Well, yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they merge with the Mountain West.
We'll say this,
I think
though.
that might happen.
Oh, the remaining Pac-12 teams merging with the Mountain West?
I
Yeah,
think
I've heard
that's a
rumors about the
possibility.
Mountain West. I even heard
I
some
think
stuff
that would
about
probably
the
be for the
AFC.
best because the Pac-12 cannot continue on its currently
Oh
constructed.
yeah, it's done. And,
Yeah.
I will say this because for as much as I am kind of being a doomer right now, I am gonna make this clear. The Pac-12 definitely was kind of asking for this. They had been asking for this type of shit for years, where the incompetence, and I feel like it all traces back to how, if I remember correctly,
There's a reason
Pac-12
Pac-12
could've
After
had-
Dark was a fucking meme.
Yeah,
Well,
because there was a time they nearly got Texas. Like, they nearly got Texas to the Pac-12, and they completely fumbled the bag on that, which is, by the way, also why Longhorn Network is a thing. But yeah, the Pac-12, especially with the whole Larry Scott thing, it's like, yeah, that whole era basically shot themselves in the foot for basically the entire long term. It's just, my fear for college football is... I just don't want to see college football get to the point where it becomes a Super League type situation, which I don't think that's going to happen, but I just never want to hit that
Like
point.
with
because
soccer, like how they're trying to do super leagues in soccer.
Yeah, it's just, I don't want it to ever hit that point, which I don't
know-
think
Well,
it's going to
it's hard
happen.
It's hard to
You
get
know what
that
school
way.
conference? You know what school conference isn't tarnished like that? The MAC, baby.
Yes, Macathon.
Maction.
Action.
I'm gonna be honest though. I'm gonna say this right now. At this point, college football seems like a complete wash unless you follow an SEC or a
Oh, and
Big
yeah,
Ten
Tulane
school.
will at least get to run the American Athletic now that Cincinnati's gone off to the Big 12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Honestly, I just everything seems kind of like, everything seems kind of weird right now.
Granted,
Like,
I do follow college football for more of the underdog
Yeah, because
stories or just the
UCF,
stuff
Cincinnati, and Houston went to the Big 12.
below. Yes,
Like
I am.
Philadelphia Eagles versus Denver Broncos, whatever. Eastern Michigan Eagles versus West Michigan Broncos. Now that's a game.
Honestly, I might be watching more Mountain West games because honestly, the like Power 5 seems, I don't know, seems like a cash grab at this point.
well, that's
it
what
is.
anything in major sports is.
You know,
I
it
mean,
is. It's
I'll still watch the Big Ten mainly because that's those
yeah,
the
like,
games
I'll
I
still
get the
watch
most
college
on my
football. Like,
on like my
I'm
network.
still a massive college football fan. It's just, I just don't want this, getting to the point where there's just one giant elitist super conference that's gonna end up fucking over everyone else. That's my worry. That
Yeah,
is
because
my
I
one worry.
saw on Twitter like a meme where it was like the college football playoff in a few years is going to be like mostly Big Ten teams, and that's not good.
Yeah, exactly.
I just want Iowa versus Iowa State to be preserved, man.
No, they'll still be the state
It will,
civil
don't
war
worry.
game. The state they'll
still
never
going
do
to
away
war.
with the state civil war.
Those games are sacred. They will never get rid of
Washington
them.
has already said they'll play Washington State. They've already said that. Oregon's still going to be playing Oregon State. The state civil war will always be a thing. I'm
But,
assuming
like-
it's going to be very soon before Washington State University and Oregon State University are in the Big Ten. I think Cal and Stanford get absorbed into the Mountain West. They become basically the Pac-12. That's what
one of
I
my
think is
favorite
going to
things
happen.
to do on Saturdays in the fall is try and see if I can get out of the house before the Cyclones start playing. Because my dad sure likes getting angry at the Cyclones, and
Oh boy.
this year's going to be a brutal one because Hunter Deckers is our current quarterback is under investigation for gambling.
Oh yeah.
No.
Oh
I'll say this
no.
though, having to see frickin' USC playing games in the cold will be hilarious.
Yep. Oh yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Shit.
I know we all talk about like gripes of college football, but one thing I really hope that eventually changes is that they just get rid of a thing that I like to call the pussy weeks. Can we get rid of the fact that there should be no SEC team, Big 10, Big 12, or ACC team that plays anybody else? Can we,
I feel
can
like
we
they-
cut
they
that
can still
shit
play
out?
I feel like they can still
can
play
s-
FBS opponents. Just don't have them play FCS opponents. That's the thing.
Yeah, like the shit we get with like Alabama against like fucking
Yeah,
Youngstown
because,
State, for
Because like
example.
we all know what's gonna happen, and I don't want to be
Because
the.
Iowa versus Iowa State is technically two different conferences.
Well,
The
it
battle
is,
of
but
mid-
like what I'm
different battle of
referring
mid
to
every
is
year.
why the hell do
Different
we need to
conferences
see
is fine.
Alabama body a poor slot like a
Dude, conference games are still fine. I don't see an issue with the conference games. Shouldn't like.
yeah, but like the first 3 weeks are the pussy weeks. They're
I'll
like
just say this. I'm going to say it again. Like, just have them play FBS teams.
Yeah,
only.
like
just
like
don't-
week one they have like these big like the first few weeks are usually like games where it's like out of conference.
yeah,
The
out of
big
conference, but like can the
conference games.
SEC play teams like the Big
Alabama
Ten,
plays
Big
Miami and Ohio
Yeah,
State
can we
plays
get
Oregon
that?
and Notre Dame.
Like I'll give credit to Georgia last year. They actually played Oregon in week 0.
I mean, yeah, they destroyed
Like,
them.
They
but
destroyed them. You could still have that effect.
It was
You
still
can
a game.
still
I will
do.
say
Right,
this
of course, it was
debate.
Oregon versus Georgia.
This debate has always been there. I mean, this debate was even there in 2007, which I remember there was a segment on College Game Day talking about teams playing cupcakes, and it's just so fucking funny because that was the same day Michigan ended up losing to the infamous Appalachian State. So obviously the discussion's always been there. It's like it does.
Yeah.
I would wish that, you know, like as great as it is when you see a shocking upset like that happen, because it really is, holy shit, like a once in a like God knows how long type of upset. But it's like I feel like the wait just isn't worth it for, you know, when you could be having those other matchups.
Honestly, though, Iowa State's cupcake is a tradition because we always played Northern Iowa. And
But like I'm
Fair enough.
okay for like the state civil war, games. I can understand those are huge, but like, can we just do away with these cupcake games? They're a waste of time. We already know what's gonna happen, especially like since we're talking about college football's opening week. Can we have something? Can we have like at least some watchable games? Where it's, oh, look, it's the second half and the game's basically over. Like, and I don't know how people can get so thrilling where the final game is a blowout. It's not, most people are just gonna be like, yeah, whatever, if the game's a blowout, why bother watching?
because they like to see their team do good.
Well, I know for fans, like, if you're a fan of Georgia, you're absolutely loving the college
Here's
championship.
a suggestion: just watch Sicko football. Just watch the
Sickos
shittiest
committee.
conference. Just watch whatever the Sickos committee recommends, because they recommend.
Just watch.
I will watch
just watch
every-
Iowa.
I'm gonna
Because
watch.
something is offense.
Here's the thing. I'm going to watch every single Iowa game because of the Sickos committee this year. Anything that the Sickos committee recommends, and I mean, I have a site that like backtracks everything. Oh, I'm just gonna watch it through the week, and it's gonna be a great time.
Like their head coach Kirk Ferentz said, punting is offense.
It is. Very well is.
So I think we've said what we said about college football. I think we said what we can say.
We still have some youngins to go through.
Yeah.
We still have
shit.
farms, but
Baseball.
like I said, this is the ADD segment where we just talk about it and then just see where the night carries.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I will say, we were going to talk about college football
Yeah.
eventually. 'Cause
Oh,
it
I
is
bet.
chaos.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's chaos.
Okay. Okay. All right. Mariners time. We back, boys. We back. We so back. Half a game back of the Blue Jays in the wild card. We're so back. We're so fucking back. I am very happy with the direction the Mariners are in right now. It feels like we're in a genuinely great direction. The team's in an incredible, healthy spot. The farm system looks great. Jimmy Joyce got promoted to Double-A. Again, oh boy, another really good starting pitcher that was nailing it in High A. Cole Young, Gabriel Gonzalez, incredible highlight reel. Unfortunately, I did not go to the game on Sunday. Tickets were sold out,
Damn.
which was And high A tickets are sold out at minor league. Oh, okay, all right. So good on that. Lorenzo Montoyas got promoted to low A, so good on him. He's another person I've been having a big eye on. Taylor Trammell and Sam Haggerty AAA both are doing very well, grinding it out. Everybody looks really good. ACL team looks really good. Unfortunately, my unfortunate news is Jeter Martinez. He no longer has an ERA of under 1. It's 2. So he's... Unfortunately, he will probably not go straight shot to AA. He's probably going to have to develop in a system that does very well for pitching. I hope they shift their focus to the bats. There's a lot of really, really good bats that need that really good focus and development. Even Jerry Dipoto, he's even mentioned it that they really need to shift their focus to their bats. They need to shift it. They need to shift their focus because they got some really good guys that can really hit their ceiling. And I quite agree with that. Mariners are great, winning 8 straight, sweeping the Angles, sweeping the Padres in a 2-game series, and they played fantastic tonight against the Baltimore Orioles. They're doing great. I can't complain about where the Mariners are. We're in a great spot. We're gonna make our way to the playoffs this year. It's a damn shame that one of these teams, between the Astros, the Blue Jays, and the Mariners, and hell, if the Rays start to slide again, one of these teams is going to miss the playoffs. And that's a damn shame because there's teams in the Central Division that don't belong in the playoffs. I just want to, why can't we forfeit that playoff spot to teams that actually deserve to be in the playoffs? Mariners, all the Mariners need to do is just win one more game against the Orioles, they'll be fine. One more win versus the Orioles, and then you have 4 games against the Kansas City Royals. Isn't that just lovely? They have a lovely 3. They're about to enter a lovely 3
Don't
weeks.
overlook the Royals, though.
They're the worst.
Never overlook any team.
I know, but it's the Royals. Take 3 of 1 and I'm happy. Go
easy
3
there,
and 1.
Mike Tomlin.
Go 3 and 1 and I'm happy. But they do. It's something too. They're incredibly hot right now. They have if they can keep their hot streak up, they could potentially tie last year's winning streak where they won 14 games in a row. To potentially tie that would be incredible. But the big thing that I've always said, they have a juggernaut right after that they run into, and that is the Astros in Houston. And whenever the Mariners get hot, Houston is right there to remind us where we belong. So I really genuinely hope that this team can get over their demons. I believe we are 2 wins away. The Mariners are 2 wins away from beating the Astros in the season series. 2 wins away where we finally, have won more games than they have beaten us. That would be an incredible accomplishment this year. Now, the deadline, it broke my heart to see Paul Sewell get traded. That was heartbreaking. However, it was able to slightly reload what they needed. It was a small upgrade, DFAing Colton Wong and adding Rojas. He's not going to be playing second base every day. They're going to be rotating that position. They're going to be rotating it between Caballero, Crawford, Dillmore. They're going to be rotating it between all 3 of them. So, it's not the end of the world. Getting Canzone to play outfield to rotate with him and Cade Marlowe out. That's going to be fair, as Kelnick is probably likely out for the season. I gotta say, kicking a water cooler might have woken this team up. I don't think kicking the cooler might have been the biggest spark that this team has needed. they needed a kick in the ass. They needed a swift kick in the ass, and I think they have awoken. They
A swift
are
kick in the cooler.
sometimes you just need a swift kick in the cooler to like, I get it. We're frustrated. We're not having fun. We have high expectations on this team. But now it's time to just sometimes where I hope the Mariners just breathe first. You are in a very, very good spot as a baseball team. Probably you're in a very good spot as a baseball team. You're now half a game back. It's time to breathe. Let's get ready to make a good run into the playoffs. It's time to make a deep run into the playoffs, and I'm excited to see what this team can do. They got a very doable 3.5 weeks where they can come out the likelihood as the victors, and they can cement themselves into the wild card. Because after this nice, easy trip in paradise, they run a gauntlet. Reds. They're running into the Dodgers, the Rangers, and the Astros. So, best to get wins against teams that you're supposed to be winning, rather than late into the year. It's still going to be incredibly hard. They do have them set at 35% chance of making the playoffs. I imagine those odds have increased. So, let's see if they can put it together. Because it's going to be a damn shame if they miss. It's not going to be the end of the world if they miss the playoffs. But it's going to have a little sting to it. It's going to have a little sting to it. And we'll see what this team could do. Can't wait. I hope Paul Sewell does better in Arizona, though. Because the guy is such a nice guy. Paul is such an incredible guy. I hate that he blew a save opportunity in Arizona. That made me upset because I was like, no, not Paul. He's too good. So, yeah, that's the Mariners update that I have for Vu.
Alright, so I might as well do the Cubs update in terms of the minors and the main team itself. So the Cubs, I would say regarding the minor league system, the main headline story with us has been Pete Crow Armstrong again, and he's in the AAA now. He's in Iowa, as I posted not too long ago in the in my own Discord server in the baseball chat. I did post that. The Pete Crow Armstrong, in Iowa, our #1 prospect. Yes, I know, Jake.
I just had to do it.
But there is something great so far. He's only played 9 games, but he's looked like he's adjusting well to Iowa. He's adjusting well to the AAA setting. And his OPS, near 900 right now. That's great. I really like that. Really happy to see him doing well. Really adjusting all that. I do wonder if, maybe considering the rosters expand late in the season, I do wonder if maybe they do just say, screw it, give him a quick chance. It's not gonna hurt him. Give him a quick chance.
My thing with it is, you would want him to get as many ABs as possible. Even
I agree.
Late in the season, it's better just to keep him in AAA.
Yeah, I do agree with that. It's just if the opportunity is right, then I would say do it. It's just the Cubs also have a pretty stacked outfield and stuff. That should be noted, and he does play in the outfield position, so worth noting. Other prospects, Cade Horton's still doing well. #2 prospect. Owen, I gotta say, I still cannot pronounce his last name for some reason, but he got promoted. He's in the top 100 now. He's our #3 prospect. Our other great outfielding prospect right now. He's still in AA, which I'll see how long he stays there. I'm sure promotion has not been out of their minds just yet, but he's doing great, still doing great. Matt Shaw, our draft pick from this year's draft, is already crushing it in Myrtle Beach right now. He's already having a great start. I know his OPS is over 1,000, so yeah, great start for the recent draft pick right there. And just regarding the records, because I know records only go so far, but I know I just want to say this with the Iowa Cubs because I know recently they won a game 20-1. Just worth noting.
Ooh.
Yeah. So yeah, right now they're 64-46. So Iowa's doing really well. I don't think South Bend's doing too hot. South Bend's kind of like, yeah, 48-56. So I mean, to be fair, for minor league teams, take it with a grain of salt. But Tennessee's doing well. Last I checked, they are what's the record? Come on, where is it? 61-44. So Tennessee and Iowa are really double and triple A all doing very well. And now for the Wrigley Field experience, yeah, Cubs have completely turned the season on its head, and that's a great thing. Because right now, we have the final wild card spot right now at 60-56.
Keep bleeding the Blue Jays, please.
Yes, I know. And let it be known, we are only 2.5 games back of the Brewers right now. We are in their mirror. We have been in their mirror.
Are
And
you done?
regarding... Wait,
Oh, sorry. No. Keep going.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's like recently the hitting has really gotten strong. I mean, Dansby Swanson's been on fire. I hope Braves fans shut the fuck up about that now.
Yeah, can I address that quickly?
Sure.
Like, Braves fans swear they don't care about Dansby Swanson, yet they, when the Braves won against the Cubs the one game, they mentioned, he said that stuff about like how Atlanta's Chicago's a better sports city than Atlanta. Oh, such a loser. It's like, bro, RC is good and Dansby's good. Just shut the fuck up.
Yeah, enjoy what you have. Jesus Christ, you're the Atlanta Braves. You won a World Series recently.
You don't need to be a fucking jealous ex.
And I really love that we won those next 2 games in that series. So that was really enjoyable to have. I mean, but yeah, Dansby's been hot. Cody Bellinger, obviously, enough said with him. He's been on fire.
Candelario's been good too, right?
Yeah, he's been really good for us, definitely. He has been great for us so far. Since joining the Cubs, his batting average, I mean, it's only been 10 games, but at the same time, batting average of 459, I will fucking take that shit. Thank you very much. And also, I would say the unexpected hero of the season for the Cubs in terms of hitting, Mike Tauchman. That dude has been great. For the Cubs this season. He's made some incredible plays, like that game-winning catch against the St. Louis Cardinals. Like, that was awesome to see. And it's like, yeah, it just feels like the Cubs are really coming together at the right time. So many of like our positions that we need, it's being filled with talent. It's being filled with guys who are good. And then you look at pitching right now. Justin Steele has been great. Stroman had a really bad month. I had a feeling that elbow injury or the hip injury had something to do with it. I hope he bounces back in his return. Drew Smiley's out of the rotation now. He's really fallen off. But counter that, Jamison Tylone's bounced back. I gotta admit, he's gotten good. He's actually like these past couple, like July and August, he's actually really bounced back. Like ever since that game against the Yankees, he's gotten his shit together. So yeah, it seems things are working for him. And I will say, Adbert Azalea, he's been excellent as closer. That's really great to see. 15 saves and an ERA under 2.5. Like he's doing great for us. And also Javier Assad, who filled the role for Smiley in the rotation, had a great game tonight against the Blue Jays. He's really turned his season around. And yeah, right now the Cubs are just they are quite one of, if not the hottest team in baseball, and I could not be happier. I really could not be happier with this team right now. And I just this is definitely a team that not only is currently looking like a playoff team, but they truly do feel, this team feels like they belong in the playoffs. They really do feel like they belong there. So I'm going to be happier right now. That's really all I gotta say.
That's awesome.
All right. So,
Hell yeah.
If you could direct your attention to the live I just put on, allow me to create a diagram of the Brewers' season so far. Yeah. and then a little bit of that. Yeah, I have no clue what the hell the Brewers are doing. Like fucking. I thought they were like doing like pedestrian as shit after the deadline, and then I look at my goddamn phone and we're first in the NL Central. Like, how the fuck did that one happen? And this team loses games they should win. They win games that they should lose.
Baseball!
Players that should be busts are somehow turning into great people. Players that you thought would be good are just not. Like, shit, what the fuck is happening with the Brewers, dude? I have no clue if they're gonna bottom out or make it all the way, because like it's truly a goddamn mystery box with this team.
It really is, especially when you got the Cubs like right on your heels, and they just have like the pitching. Your pitching will always be really good. Just something that always will just confuse me is that the hitting just seems to always just lag behind, and that's, if you're a Brewers fan, that's like the story of your life here.
Yeah.
Ripping the Brewers, in terms of what you're describing, I just want to say it reminds me of some of the teams I've seen with the Steelers in recent years. Just what is this team? How are they even? How this team looks like? This team should not be this, like, just getting these much wins. Yet they, you get the point. They're inconsistent as hell.
Yeah.
Exactly. and like part of me should be scared about the fact that the Cubs are really close behind us, but I also know that the Brewers are really good at raining on Chicago's parade as of late. As far as prospects go, we actually have 5 prospects that made it to the MLB Top 100. Obviously, Jackson Chourio is still really good at number 2 overall. But we also have Sal Frelick, Jefferson Cuero.
Sal Frelick is likely going to be a graduate very soon. He's in the majors right now.
Jefferson Cuero, Jacob Misiorowski, and Tyler Black. Also, Jake, you're not gonna like who won the game for the Brewers tonight.
Who did?
A recent acquisition, actually, by the name of Mark Canha. He got the walk-off.
I'm happy for him because he wasn't part of our long-term future, and he's just a great guy, like great clubhouse guy. He's like an outgoing LGBT ally, so I love him. I hope he does great for you guys. Hope he wins you like a game in the playoffs.
Thanks.
Yeah, I don't have any bad things to say about Mark Canha, dude.
And I hope Justin Jarvis does well for you guys.
I hope he can. Yeah, hopefully he's up here like next year, because I know he's not like on the younger side, so he can maybe be a contributor at some point.
Yeah,
soon,
he's 23
hopefully.
years old at this point.
Yeah, so he should be like a major league ready arm.
But that's the thing, Brewers' arms just aren't good, except for Christian Yelich.
Yeah, it's Christian Yelich. He's found his form again, but like that's it though. Yelich, and his thing, Yelich is good, but like, we've learned stuff from like having Shohei Ohtani try to carry the fucking angles all the way. It's not gonna work. You're gonna need way more guys contributing.
I just don't know where we get more arms.
You already promoted one of your top prospects already, and he's defensively a stud. Made an incredible defensive. Made it offensive.
Mysterio's gonna be super exciting.
But I'm talking about, like, he made a phenomenal defensive play today. Phenomenal defensive play. I like, South Eric's gonna be very good for you guys. It's just, you know, you just gotta hopefully put it all together, and if it's all put together, I think things should be fine. But that's just the big question, like, can you put it together? And, you know, luckily for you, you still got lots of time to really figure it out. There's lots of time, but you could be running out of time in the future. Like, I wouldn't worry about it, but, like, please find form soon.
Oh yeah, of course. But of course, as the great Psycho Stick always said, beer is good, and stuff.
Indeed it is. Indeed it is.
Yes.
I mean, baseball's, I'm really excited. I'm just happy the Mariners are really competitive. I mean, it seems like everybody's in a goodish spot, really vying for a playoff spot. Unless you're a Mets fan, then you're just waiting for the season to be over.
Or a Tigers fan, like my dad.
Tigers were never going to do anything, let's be honest. They have fucked up that rebuild so badly.
Okay,
I mean, the only good thing is that got out of that is Spencer Torkelson, and he's probably going to be gone the first chance he can get out of Detroit.
Right?
Alright. So I gotta say, because we're talking about baseball, I feel like there's a certain elephant in the room regarding the MLB this week that I think needs to be addressed here.
Absolutely.
All right, we can address this, and I'm gonna go to bed once this is over. I want to talk about it.
Yeah, the Kevin Brown Baltimore Orioles incident.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah, they insulted God Emperor Peter Angelo.
Oh
so
no! We talked about how the Orioles were
gulag.
bad in the past. That hurt my feelings.
Well, because in a rebuild, it's not just gonna be like sunshine and roses.
Like, and I just love it's like, and I just gotta say, it's like.
He didn't even say anything bad about the team either. He talked about how much better they were in Tampa Bay this year.
And it's like, he didn't even say like, oh, this team fucking sucks. Fuck this fucking team. It's like, no, he didn't even say anything close to that. He's just doing a basic fucking analysis that you would expect from, and you know, someone like him. You know, it's like literally if this was the standard, if this is the standard we're setting, then every fucking broadcaster or an analyst would get fired. Like, dead serious.
Like the Julio, like the weird ESPN graphics would get shit canned like after the first week, you know.
Yeah, and it's like, it's just funny to me because it's like, genuinely, it's like in that case, it's like, you know, if you were gonna fire him, then honestly, if you're that desperate, you're probably gonna fire the entire graphic team because they made the entire graphic to begin with. He was reading off.
If you're gonna like suspend the announcer, like fire the graphic team too. You can't like pick and choose.
Some North Korea
you can't pick and choose who gets in trouble.
Like, you're making people agree with Michael K. Congratulations, Orioles.
I gotta say, you know, that is something that I just really don't like. What you do, the guy is talking about could be easily one of the great achievements that this team does, and the Orioles have had a phenomenal season, and it feels just very petty when you do something like that. It feels like, ha ha ha, nothing's like, you can't insult this team, and it feels like the owner has just been so blind to his team.
Yeah, he was just like, you know, what an amazing thing, you know, that they were able to come back from this. Wait, you said that they were bad at one point? Listen, you fucking speak when you're spoken to, and not a word more. Get the fuck out of my press box and fucking, I don't know, eat a sandwich.
I gotta say, I do love that other broadcast teams or other teams just called the Orioles right the fuck out for this shit. Like, you had the Mets calling them out, you had the Cubs calling them out. Like, it actually managed to unite baseball fans here, which is impressive.
Which is good. I mean,
Not
it's not like you just openly say
suck,
the
man.
N-word or something extremely racist. You're doing your job, and it's something that your producer even greenlit. Why isn't the producer fired?
And same night that happened, of course Nick Castellanos had to hit him.
Oh God. Yeah.
And that's a home run. It's a 3-1 when will that not be funny? Like,
Yes,
real.
Just there is a big reason Orioles fans just want D'Angelo's gone. They just want him out.
I understand entirely.
Yeah.
You can only be so blind to everything around you for so long.
Can't hide. You cannot hide what's actual truth. Okay, you cannot try and censor that shit.
Yeah, like I said, this is some North Korea shit.
Exactly.
100%. And honestly, I mean, he did make a statement on X. He made a statement on it. He said, he wants to put this ball. It sounds like they put it behind him. They want to focus on the baseball. I agree. Let's get back to focusing on the baseball. Orioles did something stupid. It sounds like they've corrected that mistake. He still is a fan of the team. It sounds like he'll always be a fan of the team. And I hope at the end of the day, it's just a misunderstanding. And that's where it should hopefully remain in terms of headlines.
He'd be a fan of the team. I mean, the Brewers would have to commit a pretty big oopsie doopsie for not be a fan.
I mean, I'd probably still always be a Mariners fan. It would take probably a massive sex scandal size of the Blackhawks for me to be like, all right, you know what?
Just a massive fucking Onyo.
It's not even. It would be beyond Onyo. It would be at this point be like, all right, you know what? Y'all have had me. It's time for me to basically move on from the situation.
Baseball, even.
It would probably be my end as a baseball fan if the Mariners did something. And I mean, honestly, baseball as a whole is not in a healthy spot, right? In general, baseball is not in as good as a spot as the owners thinks it is. Despite tickets being less than $10, you still can't bring fans to the stands. You still can't have bums in seats. There are so many empty stands. And I know, small market teams can only do so much. But they're not even an appealing team to spend on a weekday night in the summer?
They're losing the battle to soccer. I always said that, the big competition for baseball at this point is
Tier 2 soccer. It's not even the European Premier League. It is.
No, I mean MLS.
I know. I know. MLS is Tier 2.
Well, I'll say, it probably would have been the NHL already had it not been for the NHL being run by fucking idiots who can't market for shit. But unfortunately, that is reality right there. And with Messi and MLS, it's not going to be looking. I mean, baseball still has at least the World Series to cling on with those ratings and power through, but it's just, I don't know.
I think baseball at its is gonna eventually be seen as a relic, and baseball's biggest mistake will be the fact that they failed to capitalize on a generation because they were so far up their ass. I've been saying it for a while. Baseball needs new owners.
Yeah, I think baseball is having its Sears arc, if that makes any sense.
It could be. I think, it wouldn't be something to surprise that down the line, 10 years, they're going to be trying completely different markets. They will be. What's the point of the fact that if I can't get my stadium at least half filled There are other stadiums that I can go to try and get fans. And they're going to be trying that over trying to focus on capitalizing on what makes baseball a good sport. Yes, I think having the pitch clock I think it's good. I think it's good that games are faster. But people are tuning in, but they're not tuning in as much as they thought.
I'll say this.
Oh yeah, I'll let you.
I want to say this regarding it because you mentioned people not showing up, and I mean I'm just gonna say it right now. I think before we get to the end of this, I do want to just say like I think we're gonna be seeing a trend when new stadiums get announced, and we're already kind of seeing it. We're gonna be seeing a trend where baseball stadiums, in terms of capacity, get smaller. I think you're gonna see a downsizing baseball stadium capacity. That's my opinion on that.
I agree.
You want to know my like radioactively hot take? I think MLB teams exist less so as teams proper, and more so as fashion brands at this point. Because people here in Michigan, they don't give a shit about the Tigers, but you'll always see people repping the D hat because, that's just what you do here. You wear the fucking D hat.
Yep.
Like, even if you don't follow baseball.
All right, guys. Thank you for having me on.
Hey, no problem,
I'm going
Jake.
To speak now. It was an amazing time.
Hey, Jay.
No problem.
Nice
I had to. The second we spun on the AFC East, I messaged you right away.
Yes. Okay.
Because I knew you wanted to come on, so I wanted to make sure you were
I'm really
on.
tired. So good night, everyone.
No problem, buddy.
Good night.
Good night.
And the thing that I really hope the owners that I feel like there's two things that need to happen for owners. Sorry, for baseball in general. I think we need new owners, flat out new owners, period. That needs to bring in energy, needs to pump stuff into the stadium. I think we need to start seeing a salary cap and salary floor, and we need to go to more extreme measures to prevent teams from just tanking.
I feel like at the minimum you have to at least put a salary floor in. That's the minimum in my opinion.
You need to.
Even with leagues that don't have like a main salary cap or anything, at the very least, they provide a floor, and that's something that baseball has desperately been needing. To where at the very least, okay, these teams can at the very least just strip everything like it's a fucking Chinese sweatshop or something, all that stuff.
I was gonna say like a skeezy bar, skeezy topless bar.
Because, at the end of the day, what's the genuine point of watching following a baseball team if you know you're gonna win less than 70 games? What's the point of giving a genuine attention to these guys if they're not even gonna win?
Because hat look cool, bro.
I know hat look cool. Here's the thing: I have people that I've got skip drivers that wear Red Sox hat, Yankees hats. To go, oh, you thought? Oh no, I just like the hat.
Yeah.
That it's gonna be a culture of hat wearing. That's what they're gonna reduce this sport to.
It's basically hype beast shit, That's what that's what baseball's turned into. It's hype beast shit.
I know. I just hope baseball does better because
they're more concerned about hashtag swag than actual butts and seats.
I mean, I feel like but even the swag's not gonna get you so far if the person that wears them doesn't give a flying fuck about the team. There's no point!
Well, I mean, what did I just say about the Tigers?
I know D looked cool.
They suck ass, but people just can't get enough of the D because it's an icon of the town.
It is, but it's more of, oh, look, my hat cool. I got cool hat. That's it.
Yeah. Like I said, we're slowly approaching the point where, it's like it's more like Manfred's running a streetwear company.
And I will say, if there is any positive, at the very least, MLB attendance for at the very least this season is up. But
It
I will
is
say
up,
this.
but it's because tickets are $10.
Yeah, I know, but still, at
And
least
also pitch clock.
something to take away from that right there. But also, I will say, like, at the very least, it's like, I don't think it's doomsday or anything. It's really just a constant warning sign that the MLB needs to address that. I mean, I'll be real until really under the reign of Rob Manfred, and let's be real, also Bud,
Selling.
Selig, yeah, it's really gotten bad under those two.
It is.
My
I really hope they fix it some point. They address the critical need and they say, hey, you're costing the league potential growth, and they just start bringing in owners that are gonna care. Because if at the end of the day, if that's
Your
not
Honor, look at my hat. Isn't it cool looking?
I know, but because if you think at the end of the day, if they're just totally content with, being, a luxury item, a fashion statement, whatever you want, let's start talking about contracting some franchises and reducing the amount of teams. It's gonna sound crazy, but I think it's gonna be what's best for baseball survival. We gotta focus on making this sport just survive. Because if it doesn't survive, I mean, baseball, people are gonna be caring more about the MLS. The MLS.
We're starting to see that with Messi.
Yeah, we're already really starting to see that.
We're already seeing it. I mean, Messi is a huge hit.
Well, and I'll say it with the MLB. I said it before and I'll say it again. Like, the big reason, the main cover shield they have is the World Series because of the ratings that draws. But, in terms of actual, regular season attention and stuff.
Sorry.
Regular season attention and stuff, it's like, it's not that big of a gap compared to other leagues. I mean, it's behind the NBA. It's not that far ahead of MLS and NHL. I mean, granted, I don't know, it's just like...
Blah, 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 Gary Bettman, blah, 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 blah.
Gary Bettman, you get the fucking point. A lot of leagues are run by dumbasses, but the MLB, definitely in a position with baseball because, baseball's not exactly in the greatest position.
I really hope they figure this shit out because the longer they stick their thumbs up their ass, they're gonna the longer they stick their thumbs up their ass, no one's gonna care about the October dance anymore. College football's gonna be going on. Hockey's gonna be bigger than it. At some point, the October dance is going to be.
We got basketball. We got football.
We've got other options. Why, as just a regular sports fan, am I supposed to care about the October dance?
If the World Series ratings get as bad as they did in the late 2000s or something, because I remember 2007, 2008 shit was starting to get really bad for MLB ratings at that point. If it gets to that point again, then it's gonna be a yikes.
Well, part of that was because the people were just sick and tired of the evil empire.
Well, no, not even that. I'm not even talking about 2009 or the 2000s. I'm talking 2007. Oh no, I gotta get the World Series ratings out. I wanna look at this shit. These television ratings. It's just, and it really says something. I know people are gonna say with ratings and stuff, it's well, at the very least, it's granted, I get TV is also not what it once was. It's not gonna be what it ever was again. But
do you consider them eventually down the line including streaming numbers? They go out of the way and find out how many
they're
people...
kind of, well, not right now with baseball, but in other sports, yeah, they're kind of already doing that, which ain't a shocker. Okay, yeah, never mind these ratings. These past two World Series ratings, which granted, maybe it's because people just don't like the Astros in terms of actual viewership numbers. Yeah, not been great. I'll just say that though, not been great numbers. But
So yeah, MLB, get ready to learn Chinese, buddy.
It's not even
Yeah.
get ready to learn Chinese. It's I think eventually baseball is just gonna fade away, and most guys I think are gonna think of like areas in like South Asia or Japan. Imagine if South Korea and Japan capitalized on MLB's failure and they got all the star power. Guys were going to go to Japan instead of play in North America.
And the way I see it, it's like, and I don't think it's really a sports problem because the NFL's seeing better attendance, college football is doing well in attendance, NBA sees better attendance, hell, fucking NASCAR's doing great in attendance, or at least better than they were. Now, so like, even then, when I'm saying that, it's like the MLB does not, when it comes to attendance, when it comes to ratings, they don't really have that gripe anymore. They can't really just say, well, sports isn't seeing the greatest time period. Well, yeah, it's this MLB. I feel like just has way too much of boys club. I don't know, too much of a boys club up in there.
Indeed.
Yeah,
and
you know,
even
all
then,
the,
like, you can't cry foul.
Rules
They
and shit.
they should be looking at themselves because the summertime, it's just the MLS, and they play once a week, and you still can't capitalize on that. Where are we going from here? It's baseball's gonna die off because owners got too complacent. They lost sight of what the sport is, and if that's the case, where baseball's gonna go in a direction of burn it all. Ay ay ay! I mean, Japan, they can fill stadiums up. South Korea, they can fill stadiums up.
It really just
South
depends.
Korea or North Korea?
South Korea.
Yeah,
I said South.
I mean,
Okay,
the thing with
because
Japan and those countries, it really will depend on can they get the money and shit. That would be the big question is can they get the money? Because I'll just say it right now, that is the main thing baseball has, that they have these giant ass fucking contracts.
Oh, that's true. But just imagine people aren't tuning in anymore. They can't afford to give out these big contracts.
You mentioned downsizing teams and stuff. I mean, I'll say it. I will go back to this point. The NHL in 2004, many teams nearly fucking folded. Like, people forget teams like the Edmonton Oilers almost stopped existing at that time because of how bad they were doing financially.
Pittsburgh almost moved to Kansas City.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it might. If baseball does see a doomsday scenario, which I'm using the term because I don't know if it will officially happen, but at one day could the doomsday scenario come, that situation could be similar to baseball in terms of contracts, all that shit, and the fact that there really isn't, a control in terms of money spent and stuff.
Hey, wait a second. I remember the MLB had a similar doomsday in 2004. Where the Expos were almost folded into the Twins.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we'll hopefully eventually. Like, I would not like to see baseball fade away. It's still a sport. I think it could really dominate just this dog days of summer before we get into football. But they've had decades to capitalize on it, and maybe this could be the
bag
rebound.
after bag after bag.
I really think one thing that at least should stop happening is threatening fan bases to move. I understand Oakland. We've gotten a great detail about Oakland. We're all. I'm sorry, Aiden. We kind of are on the page that we understand that they need to move, but it's just the way. It's just the way that they're going about it is the worst. Oakland should not be in. The Oakland A's should not be playing in Oakland next year. They burnt all goodwill.
Well, I just want to say this because it's like with the whole stadium stuff, because Tree's video really did show like how far it goes, how far this scummy shit goes. It's like, the way I see it, there needs to be laws put in place for this stuff. Like, there really needs to be laws addressing this shit, because these sports teams should not have that much control where they can get over 50 to 75% public funding for a project, for something that, will be cool. It will help boost the morale of a city, and it will get some money in for other places, but at the same time, it's not enough of an investment to where you should be giving that much fucking money out just to, just to pay that for a stadium. And, the lessons show that many counties have ended up regretting that shit.
I hate to be that guy, but like,
I know what you're gonna mention.
I know. I mean, here's the thing. Vikings did good. The Vikings did good with their stadium. They did very well.
It feels like an exception.
Yeah,
it's an outlier rather than a norm.
There's absolute exceptions to it. The big thing is the Vikings were very smart in the stadium. It's likely going to be it's paid off. They did it.
It's already paid off. It's right next to a light rail station, and the Wilf brothers bought a bunch of land with the sole purpose of repurposing it for mixed-use buildings.
But here's the thing: the Vikings.
Unfortunately, many other teams are not that.
Yeah. But Spencer, what I want to get at is what I'm saying is the Vikings are a very smart, well-run organization. They did not use they paid off the stadium. The taxpayers don't have to fork over any more money. They did good. There was very good done with it, but most owners can't do a good.
As I said, there needs to be a percentage limit, in my opinion, with the spending.
I think it should be 25.
I agree.
Right.
Owners are billionaires.
I just wanted to put a good model / example out there.
Yeah, absolutely. I can recognize
my exceptions are when you go like more in terms of we'll help with housing, or we'll help with infrastructure in the city. We'll pay for other shit that you have planned and stuff, and then in return for like the whole stadium thing, they promise to do that, and hopefully that ends up going well. It's just a lot of times, most times, like 9 times out of 10, that unfortunately doesn't happen.
Yeah. It's all a lip service. I mean, here's the thing. Seahawks are another example. Paul Allen is very well respected in the city of Seattle. Any good owners that do very good for the city, they're going to be very respected. It's just the bad organizations that know that they can rake the state over taxpayer money because they know they can get away with it. And there's too many fans that will be willing to pay extra taxes on certain things just to make one mega rich billionaire extra money. And I mean, people are waking up to realizing, even with our proposed model, the Arizona Coyotes owner were fronting 75% of the bill for the new stadium, and that still got shut down.
And I think that's more due to the fact that the Coyotes' reputation's just shot. Like, people are like, yeah, I don't like this.
And also, Mesa is a terrible place to do hockey. Like,
the Gary Bettman's never gonna let the Coyotes leave. They're gonna be trying out stuff again, and it's to the point where I think they revisit Glendale and they just front 100% of the bill.
I mean, like, have you ever seen like pictures of Mesa? It's like a suburban fucking nightmare. It's like if one more lane became a town.
No, yeah, but they're trying to keep this team in Arizona. That's the point. They want to try and keep them in Arizona when I think there's just better markets. I think you try Arizona maybe in the future, but you have to find an owner that's willing to be for the area, not for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think Arizona in general is kind of a mistake. Hot take.
It's not
Phoenix is
college sports.
Phoenix is a blight upon the American Southwest. I'm sorry. Like,
yeah, well, I think that's a good way. I think we've said what we've said, honestly.
Yeah, I think we've done. I think we could. I could put it where it is at, and yeah, I mean, we've almost been at it for 4 hours.
Yep, I'm ready to just call
it.
My battery's low. So.
Yeah.
Congratulations on winning the Stanley Cup finally.
Oh my fucking god! That's why I was so distracted. I was like, "Holy shit, we won!" And then I was trying to make all my off-season moves when I was second. The answer is, the second I won the cup, I switch over to Pokemon. That's what my original plan was. But yeah. Anyways, thanks for coming in tonight. Big thanks for Alan for joining us. Huge appreciation. Huge thanks, Nix, for the for hitting him up.
I will try and get more guests in the future. I will make sure of that. I am the recruiter here.
I have I know two of my friends that are fans of South and North teams that I will ask them. Let's do the quick wheel decide.
Wheel of Divisions.
Anyways, we're coming up really good. We're making really good timing. All right. Oh wait, I got it right. West. There we go. I'm not gonna do this on stream. All right, spinning. AFC South. Then next.
Hey.
We're gonna. I have a Colts fan that hopefully is interested in joining.
If I can get Texans or Titans fan on, I'll see.
I'll see. Anyways, thanks, Nick, for the recruiter. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll be back next week, same time. We'll have to do a meeting next week because I do want to discuss for the NFL season. We're gonna probably change it, the time we do it, because I want to get Ozza on, and it's my suggestion would be we have to do it Sunday morning. We're gonna be up anyways.
Okay, yeah.
Oh God, okay.
Yeah, we can try that. We can try that.
We can try. I'll talk to Oz about having it Sunday morning, and that way he's a little bit late. He's got like 2 hours ahead of us.
Yeah,
so,
he's also got. I know he's got jobs to work with and stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, and he says he's off Sundays, so that's something that I can certainly comply. Well, I want to work a schedule because I want to bring him in because he's got good analysts. He's very analytical. I just want to bring him on more often.
Yeah.
Hey,
All right.
Wait. Do you mean Sunday morning your time or Sunday morning my time? Because like
it would be like, well, it wouldn't really matter. I'm talking like probably like 8 a.m. Sunday morning.
8 a.m. your
Pacific
time,
Standard Time.
My time.
Pacific.
Okay. Because like I hate to be that guy, but
Church.
No.
Oh,
no. I need to get your boy need to sleep.
Oh yeah, I know.
Eat me, bro.
But Spencer, that'd be like 11 a.m.
Right. Which is why I was wondering, like, am I seriously gonna have to get up at 8 in the morning?
No. Oh hell no. I'm gonna crawl my ass out of bed
at 5 o'clock your time.
5 o'clock a.m. to do a whole show. 5 goes up 5 a.m. to do a whole show. But anyways, yeah, we'll talk for a better schedule. Either that or like Saturday, or see if Ozza moves around certain days. We'll see. If he doesn't do it, it's not his fault. I want to try to keep having him on.
We're all shifting and shit. Like for instance, my bus. I talked earlier. My bus route is shifting at the end of the month, which means about 3 months of apartment hunting just went out the fucking window.
I'm sure there's other. I'm sure you'll be able to find an apartment. Believe me, I know apartment hunting's a pain in the ass. It took me and Caitlin 6 months to get into the apartment we're in right now. It's not fun. We had to live. I mean, God bless their grandparents. Amazing, incredible people that housed us for 2.5 months. But I feel your stress, buddy. It's not fun.
Yeah, especially with how cutthroat the U.S. market is. Yeah, it's not good.
In certain areas, and I just looked at housing prices. I imagine rent is very cutthroat. I mean, I'm hoping. I mean, the answer is, hey, let's all pack our bags and go to Alberta. Fucking big two-bedroom basement suites, only $800 fucking dollars a month.
My version of that is going to either Saginaw or Detroit.
Oh god. I mean,
are you aware you're still alive?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh well. Anyways, we'll see you all next week.